Hello guys. We're getting started with the LIULI Cup. I actually saw a little bit of food to eat because my food arrived super late. I ordered it like 2 hours ago. It arrived like 20 minutes ago. So I'm just finishing up eating, but we do actually have a game. So I'm going to put us in game and just kind of watch and BRB while I finish eating for like 5 minutes, and then we can just start casting from there, okay? Cool. Cool. Alright. Maybe we can kind of cast. You know what? We'll do like a half cast, half eating kind of vibe. How about that? It is going to be Percival versus Lemon to start us off today. This is the LIULI Cup. It's another weekly cup that's come around. This is a $400 cup. So very typical in the modern day of weekly cups. Actually does have a monthly final attached to it as well, so something else to kind of think on and keep in mind as we get into the first ever edition of this. I mean, the LIULI Cup is an event that's run different events in the past, but this is the first edition of this version of it. So let's see what what takes place. Let's see what happens as we get everything started over the next few moments. We'll probe going across the map to scout, and we'll see where we go. WTF is Young Zest. Young Zest is a Chinese player who really likes Zest. So they called themselves Young Zest. Cybercore about to finish. Next is on the way. Really not too much going on. We are going to follow this Reaper. It's going to be a second Reaper as well. Here's double gas from the moment from Percival, so a little bit aggressive in the early game. Let's see if the Reaper does anything. I'll take another couple bites of my lunch, and then we'll, I'm going to say, cast properly in a few minutes, guys. Reaper Hellion can get in. Rose going down, and we'll see that damage actually going to be pretty good for Percival. 5 workers this early is very notable, to be honest. That's going to be a bit of a rough start. Alright. I'm finished eating. Four minutes. Not so bad. I told you guys it wouldn't be long. Just needed to... Honestly, it was so annoying. I was like, man, I don't even care if it's late. As long as it's not stupidly late, you know? That's what I was thinking in my head. Naturally, it ended up being like 45 minutes. I was like, bruh. Like 5 minutes sooner, it still would have been fine. But yeah, it was pretty heckling late. All right, so medevac goes down, so that little bit of attempted aggression does not go your way. That gets shut off already. Percival has tried to do a bunch of damage in this early game to basically set up for this little Marine tank push. Has Banshee set up as well. Start chase forward, a couple of Zergs getting pushed the other way for the moment. All those tanks will siege, the rest of the Stalkers setting up as well. Mortal will be chrono boosting out of the robo facility. On the top side, the Banshee looks to get into the main base, so wants to try and deal some damage here. We'll have the chance to get after a couple of these probes already, so a couple of workers already taking some initial hits. 1, 2, 3 workers going down very quickly. The Stalker's going to blink back across. They can get underneath that Banshee, and they will not succeed in taking it down, so that Banshee will live. Marines and tanks coming through, a couple more of the Stalkers getting pushed back as well. Banshee from that top side, and the Stalkers once again just going to blink away over that left-hand side. Couple shots coming through. Plus one and Stim, both on the way up at the medevacs. Marines and Widow Mines into play. Again, the Robo Bay coming online, the Forge is coming online as well. The extra probes continue to come up for the moment. Those Stalkers are going to be set up in the centers. They're going to be hanging around too, as the Bio on the left-hand side will make a little bit of a push around up to the top. Single Marine just going to be stepping forward for a couple of seconds. The assimilators will drop down onto the third base as well. And the single Marine is going to come stimming over as the Bio takes a chance to stim after a bunch of those probes. I mean, Lemon out of position completely. Has to recall the Stalkers home. I actually, honestly, kind of feel like we could have stood into the recall as a Terran. Like one of those rare moments that if you just stand and fight the units that recall, I actually think you would have killed a lot of them, right? Dropping in the main base is nice as well. And he's going to have a follow-up push down to the bottom still. But this is kind of being handled now from Lemon. Obviously still a lot of damage taken. The Stalker's not being microed super well either. And Percival will continue to push up and push into position here as the tanks will siege. The Bio will push on. And it does really feel as though this game is heading to a little bit of a close, as Percival has all of this pressure coming up. There's a lot of Zealots here, so actually might be able to save this base. Links forwards, looking to get the siege tanks right now. Widow Mines trying to help against the Zealots. Can the Bio units survive long enough to actually have a shot at taking out the Colossus? Reinforcements showing up too. The Immortal, also not a bad target, not a bad thing to stop and get rid of here. Widow Mines still dropping. Now one Colossus has put in work, but it's just not been able to do enough. It's been attacking for so long, but in the end it will go down. Did not have enough support. GG gets called. A rough early game for Lemon, and Percival capitalizes in full and takes himself to a 1-0 lead to start off today's action in the LIULI Cup. Weekly number 1. Alright. So that's a solid opening game. We're heading into game 2 in a couple of moments. And seeing what we get up to, seeing what we have. Let's wait for our players to host it and we'll join them in game. How's everyone doing? All doing well. Take a couple moments to get set up. Trying to do a very unsuspicious alley cam, but she's on to me. Just gonna pretend I'm not doing anything. Because she was just had her head down sleeping before. And she's been really cute. And now she thinks there might be food on offer. She's already had her food, so she's tired today. Ah! My thingy got stuck. My mouse got stuck on StarCraft. I couldn't get it over to turn Ellie-Cam off. Oh, now she's sat up. Hello, baby. Babes, I've got nothing for you right now. I got nothing for you. Alright, in the bottom right hand side, we're going to kick off the second game with the Red Terran player who is up 1-0. It is Percival. Taking on the Blue Protoss to the top left hand side, Lemon. Game 2 of this best of 3. We need the dog to cast the games and Wardy to sometimes appear. Look, if Ellie wanted to swap lives with me, I'd take it, you know? I get to sleep, I just get to chill, get fed good things, no worries. I get to bark out the window and never get in trouble because I'm heckin' cute. You know, like... She has it pretty good. Yeah, we complete. So we will drop the Nexus down onto the natural for the moment. Just going to get that straight into place. Cybercore coming up, the Orbital Commander and the Reaper coming online as well. Once again, we get a little bit of just figuring out where we're going to take this game. Obviously, last game did start well right from the get-go from Percival and really just kept that momentum up from one attack to the next to the next. It was very fun to keep on top of. Am I looking forward to NFL? Yeah, absolutely. Very excited. Got our Fantasy League set up. Gonna be fun. It feels like it's been too long. It's not really been too long, but it's been a while. Wardy Sunday evening streams already are pretty rare, but they're about to become non-existent for the next few months. Super moving down. Bunker, Tech Lab, Command Center. A little bit of everything coming through initially, as we just have the Twilight Council on the way out as well. Just going to see that Reaper taking the little grab on the left side, taking that watchtower. And yeah, the Reaper continues out down to the bottom side, so down the bottom we go. And Twilight Council, Stalker, Gateway, a little bit of everything coming through for the moment. There's that cycle, and now currently about halfway done. Hallucination gets into the main base. You're excited for the NFL, and then you remember you're a Cowboys fan. Yeah, you didn't even have to write the line, you know, the extra part of that just, yeah. God. Every time I hear about the Cowboys in the off-season, it's been like, hey, we are being absolute idiots. Hey, we pissed off everybody. That was good for us. It's like, whoa. How do you keep doing this? How do you pull this off? With so many different players, consistently. Incredible. Couple gates coming online. The blink is Corona boosted, and we are getting ourselves some progress made here. As yeah, obviously a bit more of a peaceful opening, not the multiple Reaper Hellion from the Terrans, so we don't have that to really concern ourselves with either. As we just have the yeah, blink coming online, Nexus coming up. Take a couple moments to get set and ready here with SCVs on the way as well. Siege Tank and Marines also producing. Your Steelers fans gonna be a tough year with Rodgers. But is it gonna be is it gonna be a tough year where you just about squeeze out like a a mid record once again, or is it actually gonna be bad for once? I feel like as a Steelers fan, at least you've not had like a completely disaster. Like you haven't had a lot of good seasons lately, but like at least you haven't had like a completely disastrous season lately. Ish. Yeah. I remember one of the it wasn't the first year I was watching, maybe the second or third year I was watching NFL. I was getting into it. It was the I was watching the this is what I remember most about like watching the Steelers, but it was the Steelers-Browns game where the first snap of the game was a touchdown for the Browns because it went over the head of the quarterback. And there was like 28-0 in the first quarter. Oh my god. This is one of the first moments where I was like, man, I really feel like I'm watching a game which people are going to talk about for years to come. It was freaking sad day to be a Steelers fan. Scraping the playoffs, get your ass. He actually brought it back that game. Just, you know, the score at the end wasn't as bad as the first quarter. Jeez. Oh, yeah, NFL's going to be fun. I'm excited. 50-50 playoffs won't run deep. Yeah, I think that's alright. Marine's gonna get there. Stalker's gonna get pushed back a little. There's a few games last year where the Steelers genuinely looked kind of good. And then there was a bunch of games where they looked like they didn't know how to put two things together back to back. So, am I in a fantasy league? Yeah, we have a StarCraft fantasy league. It's very loosely StarCraft. There's a few guys that used to be more involved in StarCraft that aren't so much anymore. But Roddy plays in it every now and then. Nate played in it 1 year. So yeah, we have a very loose StarCraft fantasy. If we had enough interest, we could do a WardiTV fantasy league. Like we could do a we could do a stream fantasy league if people were interested. That was gonna absolutely wreck this army, by the way. We're gonna get absolutely destroyed. Medevacs get jumped on. Zell's gonna continue to chase forward. Well, Stalker's just going to continue through, and those Medevacs continue to get absolutely destroyed right here. That was a very good fight for Lemon, as he just is full on gateway mode. He does have a Temple Archives. He does drop the Storm into play. Robo Bay Forge. Just going to drop through. And just going to be seeing the rest of the Zealot Stalk coming about around the right-hand side. What does fantasy mean? In we're talking about NFL. It's just like, you know, basically. Well, actually, NFL fantasy is very cool because you actually like draft a team and like you basically field a full team, and it's almost like you run a team throughout the season. It's actually very cool, very fun. It depends on the buy. Yeah, if we did it, we'd just do like a very small buy. Not talking about anything excessive. Maybe we could literally do it just like if you subscribe to the stream when we sign up, and I'll just make us a little tiny prize pool or something. Just so there's a little bit of something to play for, so people actually have a reason to, you know, actually update their teams and play. Yeah. You know, I mean, depends. We could take interest and then see what people want to do. Doesn't have to be doesn't have to be anything much, but just, you know, just give people a reason to not to actually update that team and stuff. That's all, you know. Yeah, we could look into it if people are interested. And we might even just have spaces in our other StarCraft Fantasy League, but usually we only have like 1 or 2 spaces, so if there's a few different people interested from the stream, we could just do a stream one. Alan would probably play. This army from Percival, by the way, is just getting beat the hell up. Like, he has no HP on these units. He has no DPS against these Zealots, and Widowmine's going to have to do some work. Finally, he's going to get there, clean up. He is actually dealing damage on the other side. There's a Colossus playing defense. A few Marauders in this army could jump on that Colossus. I believe it's already pulled back once against those Marauders. Now they take a little bit too much damage. We did get a lot of probes, so actually making up for the damage taken over here. This army just needs to clean up these few zealots. We'll get there. Stim's a gain, though. That's a very expensive stim. You're very low on HP already. Ready back around that right-hand side. +1 attack. The extended thermal lens coming through. Again, engineering bay, armory continue to come up as well. It's just going to bring that in. There's a couple of zealots going to come forward. The bio army will be right there to chase those few zealots back the other direction. You know what was actually very cool as well was talking about fantasy is actually like, did any of you guys ever played Pro League Fantasy? Pro League Fantasy was really freaking cool. Genuinely very fun. Pro League was like a spot-on perfect format for fantasy. It was really good, and the way that it worked, because it wasn't just always superstars playing. Like, you had a lot of the underdogs on teams and stuff, and figuring out which underdog was like a worthwhile kind of like, you know, investment backup pick or something, and then, you know, especially for that week, if you felt like, oh, I think this guy's got good TVTs, completely underrated against this guy, that sort of stuff, I think is, yeah, pretty, pretty cool. Bio, gonna come back up the right-hand side, by the way. It's just gonna take a bit of a journey. As the 2-2 upgrade start up, the +2 attack coming in on the side of the Lemon. Army of Percival will go pushing toward the top. As the Ghost, the Widowmine continues to come in. EMPs, a couple of probes. The Pylon gets taken out as well. Nexus gonna go recalling up a few of these units. Those Colossus gonna get there. The Zealots are gonna get chased, kited away. I will say, I really felt like this was rough for Percival. And, yeah. He's kind of turned it around, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The Bio gathering back up. Just gonna see the Guardian Shield popping. High Templar coming in at the front. A couple Stalkers gonna be right there. Just have the +2 attack upgrade coming up as well. So still just bringing a couple things in here and there as the army continues to settle. Army turns around. Stalker's gonna get pushed. EMPs potentially going to come through as well. These storms will hit hard. And that Bio army is going to be held back for the moment. Like I said, Percival will find his way back in this, but it's so difficult at this stage. There's one High Templar Stars and EMP Storm available there too. The EMPs otherwise are pretty good. 4 Colossus though, and that means you really need a serious number of Vikings to deal with this. And those Vikings are hurting, right? Like, they could really do with a little bit of repair before they come into this fight. I don't think Percival wins this fight in any way, shape, or form. His army is just absolutely beaten up, and that is going to be a GG. This army ain't going anywhere. Good job from Percival to bring it back a bit, because like I say, he was in a pretty darn tricky position, so he really did bring it back, but it's not quite enough in the end. GG's. Lemon takes game 2. We get tied up 1-1 in the best of 3. Percival really hung on, but it was pretty rough for him. Let's just be realistic. Pretty darn rough. I run some ads to get ready for this game 3. Tokamak coming up. So just catching back up on chat. Yeah, if we could get like 10, 12 people interested, we could definitely do like a stream fantasy. I know Helen would probably play as well, so we could. We already have what, 2 or 3 people here now, and it's not even like prime. We're not even in like NA time right now. A lot of the NAs are still logging in for the day to work and whatever. So I reckon we could probably get people together to set it up. It'd be fun. Top right, our red Terran player is going to be Percival. Up against the blue pros in the bottom left, it is Lemon. It is proxy time from Percival as he sets up the 2 barracks over here to that right-hand side. Going to get those going right slap bang on the bottom of the map, and obviously looking to get some real damage done in these early stages already, so hoping to succeed in that regard. Gateway begins to build. Cybercore's coming up, barracks on the way, tech lab building as well. This is a scout from Lemon, so he knows there's no base. He's gonna go low ground though, and if he goes low ground, yeah, then you keep on going into Marauders for sure here.
You love this right now as Percival.
Low ground is just so difficult to defend. What will Lemon try to do? And Deft on the way out. Robo facility. The Robo's in the low ground too. Starts a battery. I mean, you can see where the issue is, right? Marauders show up and you are yeah, already just in a very difficult spot. Zelt will take a few hits early as well. What we got to do, if we get through that battery, then just, I mean, if an Immortal gets out, it becomes a lot better, but it's still not ideal. Let's run some damage in onto the new battery that's building as well. Any shot right now from the Marauder will drain battery energy. Always a step close towards those batteries being dead, right? So it's kind of a big factor, as we are going to see an extra Marauder showing up. Again, do you want to stand here and just drain battery energy? Or would you rather start targeting down the batteries? Maybe a little bit of both. The problem that you have as Lemon here is that the Adept doesn't do much damage, the Zealot never really gets in range. Now he's built so many batteries, he's yet to start the Immortal, just now starts it up. Maybe could have started a second or two sooner, but we're going to have 5 Marauders. So the issue is as well is that the Immortal kills Marauders, but Marauders can also kill the Immortal, and if there's no battery energy left, then yes, that's going to be a serious issue, and these batteries are starting to get drained very quickly because 5 Marauders are really adding up. Now 6 Marauders, not a single of these Marauders has gone down. The Immortal's going to pop with very little battery energy remaining. Just get an initial shot off, that's a good start. Oh, the SCVs are here from Percival, oh my goodness. Oh my god, he's going to go after the pylon. The pylon is the only thing powering everything right now. Battery will try and repair it, but the bonus damage to the structure is going to be good. And now we're going to jump onto the Immortal with no batteries remaining. Lemon did not build a second pylon. The SCVs have tanked, and we're going to try and get new pylons up, but the Robo is halted. And this game is going to go the way of Percival as he eliminates Lemon today in the opening matchup for these two players. Percival moves on through to most likely play against Classic in the next round. We'll see if there's maybe a change or an upset on that, but that's generally the direction that one seems to head on into. As we, yeah, have a pretty fun start of the day. Percival gets it going. Goes into the round of 8, actually, so not far from maybe poking into some prize money. Trying to see what Lambo's up to, but he's already 8 minutes in game. Was thinking Lambo Nice could be kind of a cool matchup. Don't think we really want to follow the MaxPax section. Trigger playing Rex when I would play ByuN could be kind of cool. I feel like Classic Percival is not going to be the most exciting match, so maybe we try and get... I feel like Lambo Nice into Cure could be very good as well. I think that section is also obviously very tempting to get our hands on. Trying to look around. Classic in game, ByuN in game. Maybe we do just wait for the... Cure is out of game, so I wonder if Cure is either... Cure's not played against Young Zest yet. We could just go Cure Young Zest. A matchup which we maybe don't expect to immediately be kind of... I mean, yeah, I guess you don't expect Cure Young Zest to... we expect Cure to win, but maybe it could still be fun to watch, and that leads us into Lambo or Nice in the round of 8. That might actually be a not so bad way of doing things, actually. That might be a reasonable approach. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Trigger... Okay, Trigger Rex already mid-series. I think I prefer the idea of waiting for Cure. Maybe. More PvP? We're not going for more PvP, guys. Chill out. Aren't you meant to cancel the Nexus against that build? You can cancel the Nexus when you know it's there, but the problem is as well is like, what does canceling the Nexus do? Give you a bunch of money that you can't spend. Like, by the time you build gateways and start to produce out of the gateways, the game is already decided. So canceling the Nexus gives you minerals that doesn't really give you much bonus, I would say. When's the wedding? In 4 weeks. Yeah, the adept kind of sucks in this scenario too. Like, the adept's tanky, but it also just does no damage to the marauders. Then obviously you build a stalker and it gets very kind of beaten up much more quickly, but then it does actually put more damage out as well, so it's kind of tough. It is kind of tough. Alrighty, guys. I see Q going into a lobby. Let's do it. Gonna be ley lines. Map number 1 here between Cure and Young Zest. A little bit of TVP. Winner of this plays Lambo on ice, so I'd say there's a very good chance we get like TVZ or TVP in the next round. Obviously, I would put Cure as a favorite here going into this match, so see what happens. Nightmare was great to watch yesterday. Yeah, Nightmare was really fun to watch yesterday. Good to see him again. Have I seen the build where Terran flies a CC into the enemy main and builds a planetary? And no, I have not casted the Bronze League heroes in a hot second. It happened to your ally in TV2. Love it. One of those funny in-game things, I feel like. With Stargate instead of Robo, he probably mops all the marauders up. Yeah. I feel like there was a reason why they decided that going Stargate wasn't the way to go, though. Like, a lot of people started going Robo against this instead of Stargate. I actually can't remember what the reasoning is. Because, yeah, if you just have a Void Ray out, then, like, these Marauders die, and what do they really get done? Do I have access to the LIULI Maru versus Hero VODs from yesterday? No, I don't. Apparently Maru got into the zone playing reverse race, though, or off race. I think the problem is if you go Stargate Void Rays, you might hold the Marauders, but the Marauders do damage, and then it's actually, you can follow up at that point as the Terran because the Pros does not have a good follow. Like, you're on a Stargate follow up, and you build Void Rays, and yeah. I feel like that's why people prefer to try and hold it with a Robo, because the Robo defense basically ensures that you're good in the game afterwards as well. Yeah, Proxy Marauder is a complicated thing lately. Anyways, we're here with Cure against Young Zest, and Cure does Engineering Bay block to kick this game off. Young Zest finds out about it now as the probe sees it. He will be like, well, I'll just throw it down on the third base, but there's an SCV there as well, so Cure is already making Young Zest's life difficult. How long until someone hears me saying Young Zest and they're like, Zest? Is this Zest? Probably not long, right? I would do the same. Because that probe is really getting to go, nibbling at that SCV, really trying to get some damage done. Well, at least now I've baited you guys into like saying it, right? Rather than just someone genuinely saying it. You know, I'll take that. I'm okay with this sequence of events. Pro moving up and down SCV. We'll cruise about a little bit as well. Cyclone coming through, command center getting built, refinery coming online. Stalker and the warp gate continue to roll. And that Nexus just comes down on the low ground. Check the gates going online. The Nexus coming through. The starport and the command center will continue to build up for the moment as the Cyclone gets a lock on and is able to actually clean up the Stalker that came across the map. Missed that, but Cyclone getting a Stalker kill is was harassing a little bit, and Young Zest is throwing down 2 additional gateways, with one of them being across the map. So the aggression is rallying together here for our Protoss player, who is looking to get aggressive very early in this game. This gateway is going to finish. Cyclone locks on. Stalker already taking some damage, as we just see the Hawkers able to push the Cyclone back. The one thing for Kira is he's seen the gateway though, so you've got that knowledge now that this is happening. He's still going to be, you know, trying to be brave and stepping forward a little bit. With those Stalkers, obviously the Cyclone wants to get damage done where possible too, but the Widow Mines make this a very good defense. There's nothing to really, you know, deal with Widow Mines right now, as we do start going into a blink follow-up. Yeah, there's not really any good way to, like I say, deal with the Widow Mines, apart from them just lifting up and leaving themselves at the moment. Stalker's going to ping, Bunker's taking damage.
Siege tank and additional Marines will
Build for the moment. Robotics facility building up in the main base. Cyclone will just step through, trading with this pylons, shutting down this proxy. The medevac doesn't get far. The defense is good. Those zealots have, you know, pulled back and repositioned at a good timing here, so making sure that nothing crazy is going to come of that. Widow Mine dropping in. Just going to give a couple probes for the moment. Widow Mines do go down on that blink. They'll finish in a couple of seconds for the Twilight Council. Raven will be done very soon, as our Stalkers will be there. Medevac gets turned away. Additional Marines building up currently from Cure. No Stalkers heading down toward that bottom left-hand side a little bit. Charge. The Observer coming through. The Nexus building up on the natural. The mine is good for another probe, and the Stalker's going to get that. Turn the medevac around and get the kill. And Stimmin +1 on the way up. Charge coming online. Nexus and a couple of gateways coming along with everything else. Still seeing where we are going as the Stalkers pull back down to the bottom left. A little bit of everything coming through then as the batteries come about as well for the moment. Stalker's ready to jump in toward the main. Gets a cancel on the CC, but He was still pretty sturdy, right? CC was not super far along, so I don't think we're super upset about this for now. Yeah, I think he's fine with the third getting cancelled. Like, you don't want it to be cancelled, but it could be going a whole lot worse still. Upgrades will finish soon. With those upgrades completing, obviously Kira gets a lot more mobility on the map and a lot more fierceness on the map as well. And he's right now looking to run to his third base. Zealots do have that charge available, but this is okay. It's like 10 Zealots to be fair, and a few more warping in. The Stalkers, however, in an awkward spot. They're going to try and blink for safety, but they're already being chased down by the other units. Kira does not actually get the catch on it. Going to scan for the Observer, though. We'll take out this gateway. And now collects everything together. Starting to look pretty ferocious with this amount of army. We're getting to this kind of army count where obviously the, Zealots are not going to do so well because the Zealots are not going to get like a complete wraparound. Missile actually hits a few Zealots on the right side. Oh, those two sentries going to go down immediately, full of energy. Does not get much use out of them. A single force field that will change nothing. He's going to be very respectful of not running into that army on the right. I feel like he absolutely could, though. He's got so much more. The Zealots continue to drop. The Stalkers and the sentry get blasted. There's nothing here that's doing good damage, unfortunately, for Young Zest, who is just kind of, out-strengthened. What's the word I'm looking for? Outmanned? I don't know what I'm trying to say, but the word I'm saying means basically he's got way less his opponents. He's outnumbered, he's outmanned. None of this is what I wanted to say. Here just has significantly more. The pile on the right side goes down, up on the top. I'm just going to get the bio. Going to go and hit the pylon as well. I mean, Kira could really just collapse in on this army at any point. I think he's going to be okay. Wouldn't mind even gets the Zealot here. Outskilled, outgunned? Yeah, outgunned. I feel like I'm trying to say a word that just doesn't exist, to be honest. No, not outplayed. Outraced? Yeah, he got Terraned. Terraned hard. Terraned real hard. Oh, +1 on the thermal lens still coming through. There's the Temple Archives dropping down in the main base as well, so you get that going. The couple Stalker shots will fire up as well. A couple more units getting hit during that. Upgrades coming about. The Vikings will come through. Attack upgrade, extended thermal lens, like I said, Temple Archives, all the bits and pieces. Kira could have genuinely just ran in and ended this game. Again, he's not able to make that happen just yet. A little bit of bio coming down. As well as taking damage. Next is taking shots. And let's just have the army continue to step on through. Colossus are going to drop. There's an army on the natural as well, by the way. One army ain't good enough. Two armies will be better. You're just outmanning Young Zest in this game one. Why do I keep trying to say this word? It's not the word I want to use anyway. Shut up, Wardy. Shut up. Alright guys, a couple of moments we'll hop into game 2. Yes, I just have to write something down on a spreadsheet quickly. Alan, for game 2. Let's hop in. I got this ready to go. No other results really coming through just yet. Classic got his win. But yeah, a lot of games still just ongoing at the moment. Out curing. I honestly, I probably don't even know what I wanted to say. Just nothing's coming through the way I wanted to. So, ay. Alright, let's go in game. Was outnumbered said? Yes, outnumbered was that. Maybe I was just thinking of outnumbered. I honestly, I don't know what I was thinking of. I really don't. Anyways, all good. Top left up in game is Cure. Bottom right, hands down in game is Young Zest. Maybe I'm looking for outgunning. I honestly, like, none of this sounds right. You know what it is? The further we get from the moment, the more that I don't really know what I was trying to say, because I really just had that feeling in my mind, and the further we get from it, I'm just gone, you know? So... here we're coming about and get settled in. Covered all existing words, yeah. It's a me problem for sure, guys. This one's on me. Probably gonna get turned away. Gonna be seeing the Reaper on the way up, so we'll figure out what Kira has planned for us here. We'll see if Youngzest has anything in particular planned. Obviously, that first game started to go a little bit wrong, so I got back on track and in for this game too. I mean, he already tried to be aggressive in that first game as well, which wasn't not necessarily a bad thing per se. The battery is going to come into position. Reaper and the Hellion continue to come online, just bringing those straight up. Centering the warp gate coming through, Twilight Council on the way up as well. And that Nexus will be finishing very, very shortly as the probe continues to get some work done. Reaper gets turned around, Hallucination going to be right there. The Adept and the Sentry together, gathering up as the two Reapers escape away for the moment. He wants to get some probes here early, try and offset the advantage in this game in his favor right from the get-go. Four probes going down. There is the blink on the way, starting on the Twilight. Obviously way more normal this time from Young Zest. But this is bad. 4 probes down and the Reaper Hellion's still around. But now they're going to chase toward the main base. We should be able to run in here, and the Hellions are going to slip through as well. We do have a battery in the main base, which means the probes are safe. But hey, that's still, you know, probes that are not mined from the natural. They've had to run around a whole bunch. This Hellion runs around into the corner, just going to be annoying. Sentry finally comes in to deal with it. The Reapers have gone all the way around looking for more damage. This is good from Young Zest to defend, but I mean, he needed to defend now because he's already taken so much damage throughout this game. That's obviously been pretty rough for him overall. As now the Reaper pulls back up toward the top. Marines and SCVs continue to be added. We'll see where we go next. Factory going on to the tech lab, getting a tech lab now. Blink halfway done. Gateway and the robo facility added on. Getting a couple probes added as well. This medevac still boosting over to the bottom right-hand side with a couple of Widow Mines included. Is able to get one shot off on the probe. The medevac sits ready to make a dive into this main natural with the Widow Mines. Run straight through 2 probes initially. Uh-oh. I was going to say, there's another mine there. Don't let all the probes run into it. We do not, but we're actually going to now drop the main base, which means that you're going to cause even more lost mining time here. And still retarget a couple times. It's going to take a couple probes because you can lift up and get out alive still. So just value being found at the moment here on the side of Cure. Again, 4 more workers, both those Widow Mines alive, and that just means they remain a threat as well. It's honestly a big factor, just being able to keep those up and keep them in the back of that mineral line and keep so much of the Protoss player kind of thinking about what's going on there, when they might reappear, and just ensuring that they don't cause ultimate chaos. That obviously then it affects the rest of their game. So yeah, keeping that alive after they fight is really just very, very nice. As the starport will re-land onto the reactor. A couple of Stalkers stepping up to the top of the map for the moment. Again, Sim Combatant +1 just going to be on the way. The Marine Marauder coming out. Factory moves over, lands onto the reactor instead. The Marauder's still moving over for a little bit here. Now the units are gathering together as the tank settles. Again, Observer coming up. Storm on the way. Comes around that bottom side as well. Still just seen the few Stalkers poking about for the moment. That coming. Nexus building. Yes, Impact Combat Shield and the +1 all continue to come online. For the moment, that Raven just continues to harass. Single pro killed so far. Out-muscled. That's a great... Maybe it was out-muscled. I think that's what I was trying to say, out-muscled. That sounds right, because I was thinking like out-strengthened or something. Like I say, I'm too far removed from the situation now. But that sounds good enough. Let's go with that. That's what we were looking for. Alright. By force collects together outside the front of the 3rd base. CC is going to go and yeah, land onto that 3rd base, so looking good for Kira eco-wise. I mean, he's ahead in workers, which is already great for Terran when taking on a Protoss player, so looking pretty darn decent. Again, a couple of Vikings coming up, the armor upgrade coming through. Got some tech labs on as well as the Immortal in the charge. Will continue to build. The siege tank steps a little further forward also. Another refinery coming down at the moment. High Templars will gather up. The Stalkers join in. There's a hallucination going to go straight across the map, so take a moment to take an eye on this, but it's actually going to turn around already, so never mind. Thought we're going to see something exciting. We do not. And she pulls back as 4 more pros on down. The harassment just keeps continuing. Kua extending his lead step after step. I mean, if Young Zest is going to attack in, it's going to be a tough time because Pure is going to be very well set defensively while also just having had a very good solid game and economy so far. So the Storm's dropping down, the Bio just dealing with this well, not eating too much Storm damage, enough that can just be healed up by the Medivacs. And obviously able to contest a little bit as well. We're going to load 2 of those High Templar into the Warp Prism, but in general it looks like Young Zest might be just thinking of backing away here. I said that he did bring his army back up a little further. As now the Prism goes around that left-hand side. We'll be trying to see what those High Templar can do in these next few moments, see if they can get some work done. Unfortunately, going to run right into the double Viking, which is going to be a dead Prism. You obviously can recall and save the High Templar at least, but this is not really what you wanted. Right now, your Prism's down. Q's going to feel a lot safer moving across the map because he's not going to feel as pressured to stand clear of that aggression. So Q heading down to the bottom right side. First High Templar just gets destroyed, so does the second one. EMP's being made to look easy right now. This storm does get off, but doesn't really do much. The High Templar goes down, the snipe helping to grab it. And there's a few units coming from the other side. They've been shutting off a couple of reinforcements, but the reality is they're out of position. And this army of Q is already traded very well. What will he do? Will he try and lift up and get away? Is he going to just fight in the corner? There are storms approaching, and the storms are going to go right on top of this army. And we will, in the end, just lift up and try and escape. Good feedback. Gets one more medevac, and stops that from being a full getaway. Medevacs to the main. You actually lost a good amount here while killing off this base. We're setting this to 3 bases each. And the few units that remain in this main are not exactly going to be able to achieve much else. Triple auto turret comes down. Again, just Q finding more damage. Trying to add on to everything that he's achieved thus far in this best of 3. Medevacs is coming back in. Will be cleaned up now, though, so Young Zest is going to get rid of this. The way that this game's going, I can only imagine Q's got, a massive army back at home ready to go again. But Young Zest survives. He's going to get some Colossus on the way, too, so increasing that kind of tech option for himself toward a, towards multiple kind of forms of splash damage here is a big W as well. And this force just gathers together. We do see the army on the right side pushing down for a moment or two. The watchtower getting cleaned out for a second there. Pylon will go down as well. It's going to make this a nice pickoff as another storm comes in. A couple of ghosts take damage. The Azals is going to go and jump themselves onto the bunkers. The bunker will go down. It's going to be a nice catch also. As the Zelds will continue to charge through. Marauders still taking shots here as the Zelds try and sit on top of this location. 2 SCVs already down. And this force starting to set up into the center of the map. It's Young Zest. It's going to have Q kind of approaching pretty much full strength at the moment. He is maxed out. Young Zest has decent map control. He's got spotting pylons and so all over the place, but I feel like we might be at the point of needing something a little bit more than that right here, realistically. EMP goes down. The High Templar that was approaching gets hit already. The Vikings going to get the single Colossus that's up, and the EMPs are just making this look easy. The Zealot Warpin does nothing, and here's the rest of the army showing up. High Templars are trying to stay in the back. We do not have too many EMPs remaining, so if there's a saving grace here for Young Zest, that would be it. But honestly, we probably don't even need them. We can probably just fight. I think Fury is recognizing just that. He's going to be very safe, free-splitting. He's got very good... he's trying to build very good habits, you know? He's like, you know what, just because I'm winning, I'm not going to let that kind of get in my way of what I'm doing. He says, if I'm winning, I'm still going to pre-split and take every step as cautiously as possible, just to make sure that when it does turn around a game, I'm not, the victim of that. GG's, and that means that Cure advances through to play Lambo in the round of 8, which was kind of the round of 8 I wanted to see. Bit of TVZ, and I'm excited because I actually feel like Lambo's EVT looked very impressive at EWC. He played some very good games, had some very fun strategies for us to watch as well there. I think it's going to be a fun little round of 8 matchup that we'll be getting into. In a few moments' time, we'll be hopping on over to the NA server, I imagine. And getting this Terran versus Zerg ready to rumble. I'm going to go get myself a drink, guys. So we'll grab a drink, hydrate, and we'll come back and jump into that Terran versus Zerg quarterfinal here in today's LIULI Cup edition. Uno. BLB, just a sec. Hello guys, I'm back just waiting for Kira and Lambo to do some vetoes, and then we'll be kicking off into that round of a matchup. Meanwhile, ByuN and Trigger are going to be playing as well. It's TVP that's going to happen. Actually kind of a cool one too. We'll go Kira Lambo because we don't see many TVZs nowadays, so... yeah, this cup has not been overrun by Protoss, which is fun. Alright, cool. Apparently Lambo and Kyo couldn't find each other, but Kyo was in the correct chat channel, Lambo was not. And we got that sorted out now, so we should be able to get this on the go. I thought they were just talking to each other, because no one asked anything, but I guess they both thought they were logging over or so. Yeah, we're going to get into this TVZ for our next best of 3, and then it should be semi-finals time after this. I believe this tournament's going to do both semi-finals back-to-back and then the finals, guys. So I think that's what's going on. And what is coming up just in general. Do 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 bum 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 bada bum 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 bada dum da dum dum dum. Torches, Ultra Love, Last Fantasy, Incorporeal, Tokamak and Pylon get vetoed. Leaves us with ley lines. Leaves with what? Ley lines, Maganatha, and the third map is the one that is going to be actually map 3 as well. So, yeah. Stephanie, I'm really bad at this map pool. This map pool, for some reason, I struggle to come up with the map that's missing a lot. In previous map pools, I've had like, oh, those two maps paired together for whatever reason, and this map pairs together for whatever reason. In this map pool, I just can't quite... yeah, I can't quite figure it out, you know? Can't quite get there. Take a moment or two. This off. Boom, 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 boom. Admin is going to host us up. I'm going to get this ready to go. Perfect. Do, 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 do. Ley lines coming up. Oh, wrong mod. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna remake. It's a moment. Couple moments, guys, getting sorted out. We had a wrong mod and stuff, so we got this sorted. We get back on track. Away we can go. Okay, guys, Lambo Q coming up here in just a couple moments. we got everyone here, and I think we're actually going to be good to go. So we should be able to kick this off and get started. Thank you for a little bit of patience. We appreciate it. But I think, like I say, we are now going to be officially good to begin. On delay lines. In the bottom left, we're going to have ourselves the red Zerg. This is going to be Lambo. He is taking on the blue Terran. Third place finisher. Third place at EWC. It is Cure. Second year in a row, he's been the best performing Korean Terran. And obviously this year, the best Terran altogether at EWC. Here's the lone Terran in those semifinals, and yeah, was able to beat out Maru to make it to those semis as well. This is the second year in a row at EWC he's ended Maru's EWC run. It's just unfortunate for Maru, but good for Q. Showing his TVT is as tip-top shape as it always has been. Like his TVT really has been kind of forever good. So happy to see that is still very much so the case. As we get ourselves into this best of 3 action. Let's see what we get. Already going to see 2 barracks at the front. There's the hatch gas pool. So multi-Rex Reaper. 2 Rex Reaper specifically. Not going to be setting up for the 3rd barracks just yet, it seems, so no issues or anything to discuss on that. Oh wow, we're not even going to go Reapers, we're going to build a Marine. Oh. Kind of funky. He could go for the Overlord snipe then. If he gets the Marine early, if he gets the Marines out early and he goes for this Overlord before he can get to high ground, there's a possibility he can get the kill. 2 racks Marine opening. Very, very unique. Again, you don't really see something every time. There it is. The 2 Marines show up and this Overlord, yeah, it's just dead. It's too far away to realistically do anything. A 3rd Marine is about to pop out also, and that is plain and simple just going to be all they wrote for that Overlord. So Overlord goes down. It's interesting though, because this obviously is an investment from Kua. You know, he's building Marines and only Marines. He's doing it off of 2 barracks, so his command center is delayed, and it shouldn't really be able to do too much more pressure-wise. The supply block is really catching Lambo though. You can see he's 27 over 22 Overlords on the way. He's just taking a long time before he could spend a bunch of that additional money he had on the way building up during that. Next speed coming online, the extra drones coming through. The Marines is going to gather together, and we do have ourselves the barracks in the tech lab. So it's going to be a 3rd barracks on the way up. So very biocentric game from Q. It makes sense off the back of the opening. He's going to go 4 racks. Oh. This is a very Q move. He actually did this a lot off of the 2 Rex Reaper, where he go 2 more barracks and then just kind of hit with a very heavy bio follow-up before you're really ready to deal with it as the Zerg. Doing this off the back of the Marine-based opening on the barracks means you're going to hit even harder with the ByuNs that have stim and so on, but you're not going to have as much Reaper pressure to try and distract and throw Lambo off in the early stages. So a couple of different ways to really look at this. Couple of Queens coming over. The Marines chased back away from there immediately. Against Impact Combat Shield both on the way up, and that Marine count just growing. Lambo could really do with a scout. The problem is you lost the first Overlord. So because you've lost the first Overlord, you've got no Overlord nearby to figure out what the Terran is doing as well. He's going to start building a Rotron. I like it. Anything that isn't just pure Ling right now, I think, is going to be the correct call for him. And the Rotron obviously gives you that opportunity to perhaps delve forward in a little bit of a different way. Rotron halfway done. Overlord's still producing. Hatchery going to be finishing shortly. He's going to be able to grab a couple of Lings. Overlord still coming up. Ron coming through as well. Getting stim back in combat shield. Going to be finishing soon. 12 roaches, 13 roaches on the way up. Roaches and queens continue through. Just going to have the lings continue to build. The marines continuing by. Engineering bay in the factory coming up as well. Those roaches just sitting at the front. Going to drop another mule down onto the mineral line, and these are the marines. But honestly, we have a good few roaches here. Do you not think you can attack into this? Lambo has cut drones at 40. He's made the right calls to deal with this, and I like that a lot because this is committed from Cure. Like, you can follow up from this, sure, but like the reality is, you put a lot of investment into being here and now. Is Lambo going to turn this into an attack? That gets very interesting. Like, does Lambo just outscale Cure so heavily he can justify an attack right now? He's going to see a lot of marines. These marines could just stim onto those roaches right now, yeah. Lambo needs everything to be together to fight this, realistically. The Ling's trying to find a wraparound. Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure about Lambo being able to necessarily fight. Like, if he fights, he needs all the Lings there to wrap around and force, you know, things to happen. Also, stims are a big deal. He's already forced one round of stim. Forcing another round of stim is going to bring those marines even lower. Then they start dying very quickly, and that becomes a much bigger issue. You can see QS stims again now. Does Lambo actually want to commit into this? The Lings that run in are going to absolutely melt. More Ravager Baals coming down. Like I said, I don't think Lambo's super eager to take the trade just yet, because I think he knows that this can still go better for him. As again, you're going to have to drop another stim here. But the Ravagers are going to get jumped on. He doesn't have the Zerglings to protect them, and Q is just going to overwhelm him. That's going to be Q taking game one. Man, that was kind of a weird scenario. I actually think Lambo could have had a much easier time of this. That first attack, like, he first kind of just got jumped on a little bit. He wasn't really ready for it all to happen. A little bit unlucky. Heading to game 2 here in just a moment, as we get our second game ready to start. Felt like there was an opportunity there for sure, though, for Lambo. So, yeah, we'll see how the next game follows up. Get hosted in a moment. Mackinac are going to be the map. Cool build from Cure, though. Shows you kind of the potential to mix things up, and how Lambo was obviously very blind just because of the Overlord dying and everything. Still ended up kind of committing to the right things, but yeah, the attack is always going to be questionable. I honestly still think the attack could have worked, though. Still think the attack could have maybe worked. Just taking a moment here. Back on track. Bum 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 bum. I'm just getting logged back in. I'm not sure. I think you might just be switching VPNs or so, going from central to west. Oh, west to central. This one's going to be on central now. Do, 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 do. The relog's coming through, guys. Lambo just, yeah, taking a few moments. It's not going to get reset a little bit. Is mana in this tournament? No, no mana today. No mana today. Replays? Where can we download the replays? What replays do you want to download? What replays are you talking about? All the replays? We don't have all the replays. All the MaxPax and Mana replays? What, from yesterday? They will be in a replay pack that go out to subs or Patreon users, but we do replay packs. Well, we are due to do replay pack. It's literally on my it's on my top of my to-do list on my notepad. So yeah, I'll be going to be going out on Discord and Patreon and stuff in the next day or two. Just caught up. I have a lot of admin stuff for the wedding coming up, so StarCraft admin is lagging behind a little bit. All right, let's set up and get underway. As the hatch comes through the racks and the gas comes along, get settled in for the next few moments as we see the refinery coming online. Getting all of this ready. So we just take a few moments. Again, the couple of barracks coming through. And get us to the similar opening. Obviously, it does not have to be the same. In fact, I'd be kind of surprised if it was the same. I'd much more expect this to be an actual Reaper opening this time around, rather than a second go-ahead of the Marines. But let's see what happens. Let's see what we get. Second racks will be done in a moment. And that spawning pool coming through, the hatch and the drone coming online. Reapers just continue up. 2 more Reapers about to finish. Queens will be on the way, and we are going to see our first Reaper is on the way across the map. So much more of what we were kind of expecting out of this building game 1. Now we're actually going to get to see it here going in game 2. As our Reaper goes across the map, heading straight over to the upper left-hand side. And Reaper number 1 will start to put some pressure on and just cause a little bit of chaos. We're in the very early stages already. Obviously looking to try and get a few of those slings, a few of these drones. And obviously, even if you just soften them up right now, you're going to make for easier targets once the additional Reapers begin to arrive. Yeah, guys, sorry, there's 1-0 to Cure right now. Again, link speed is very much so on its way. Yeah, factory coming up as well. That command center not far from finishing up, as you see the follows from Cure. And obviously all of these Reapers together just going to try and put some pressure on for the moment. Gonna step up. Queen taking a few shots once again. Now the Reaper's going to try and step into this natural. Oh, Ling's going to get us around. Reaper goes down. Ling speed just can't get in shortly, but nice to get rid of 1 Reaper already. The sooner we get rid of those, the less they might be able to get done in the future, right? So nice to just have that shut down comfortably. As Lambo does only just now take his 3rd hatchery, so he's not exactly being quick to the 3rd base. We'll see how he does as Cure heads into the stim pack and just gets into the next step of this over the next few moments. Starport halfway done. Command center still very much so building up as well. And those 2 Reapers are going to be there to turn those Lings back the other direction. People are going to lower. Marine stepping through. Just going to have the Liberator. The Hellions coming up. Stimpack still on its way. And yeah, Baleen Nest, Evolution Chamber, Drones and company continuing through. The couple of Queens are going to continue by also. Hellions are going to pop out. The Liberator's on the way through. Baleen Nest about halfway done. And again, just seeing the Hellion Liberator continuing up. Marines and that Stimpack coming by also. Looking good for the moment. Hellion gonna go moving toward the top side. We do have the Stimpack about to finish. Medivac and Marines building as well. So if there's going to be an opportunity for Kira to go, honestly it might be soon. Because obviously once that Stim finishes, that's one of the first power points you have in the game as the Terran player. So again, typically you do move out and try and take advantage of that, although we're not really seeing that just yet. Gonna get rid of some creep spread though, and any creep tumors you get rid of just slows Lambo down that little bit from controlling the map. It's a pretty big map as well, remember, so you really do want to kind of try and control this with creep as a Zerg, then it's gonna be very difficult for the Terran to really do much at all if you get creep moving out on a map as large as this one. So it's definitely a possibility as the Hellions will threaten, of course, the idea of not just killing creep, but potentially hitting that mineral line as well. That's something you do not want to let get out of hand, because the moment you start losing a bunch of workers, at the moment everything else starts getting into trouble. Medevac's load up, just going to pull away. And you have the upgrade and Bane Speed coming up next, as we do have a Spore and the Queen here. Queen goes down, unfortunately, but Spore will finish the Liberator. Lambo is defending decently so far. Now the Fury is actually going to get a bit more of a jump on this left-hand side. There's Ling Bane nearby. We lose a few more drones, though, and again, that's the sort of stuff that adds up over time if you are not careful, right? Right now, yes, it's adding up. If it goes too far, then you're going to start really struggling in the game, and that's definitely an issue that is pending as well. So one more thing to be thinking of. And upgrades coming through, melee and the +2 carapace, the Baneling speed coming about as well. So catching the Ling Bane, clearing up some of the Hellions, and so still got the drop on the left-hand side from Kira. He's working on the 1-1 and is now starting to push with everything else as well. Fourth command center will be the choice. He will play a fourth base. I think that's an important note, right? Getting that fourth command center up gives you a good opportunity here to just kind of play the solid macro game. Not trying to 8-racks is obviously one of the main pit takeaways we take from it. The Ling Bane struggling a little bit. Those tank shots are turning into deadliness. Some of the Ling Bane's going to hit this orbital though, and there's not a lot here just yet. A few SCVs at least before the response comes in. There should be some Marines able to stim down this ramp. A couple of tanks as well make it scary. If it was just the Marines, maybe you could have tried to roll the Banes up there and keep on chasing a little deeper. But with the tanks, I think it's just going to be a little bit too much. You're asking for things that just may not come to be. Now what's up, Raw? Mine how you doing? Thank you so much for the 101-month resub. Welcome back. Much appreciated. Bane gonna step through, Siege Tank gonna get jumped on. The Bane's still trying to get in. Ooh, 16 SCVs go down to the Banes on the mineral line are successful, and these Banes will continue through. The tank will go down. Oh, that one Widow Mine is such a saving grace for Kua. Otherwise, those Lings would have absolutely gotten rid of the few Marines that were left there, and then they would have controlled the natural mineral line as well. And that might have been an issue for just reinforcers to try and deal with, so yeah, definitely a little bit unfortunate as the Lings continue to move about. 11 Marines on the way. 2 upgrades coming up. The Marines trying to step forward there for the moment as the Ling Bane is actually going to come in, and we are going to engage into this Marine tank force. 1 tank going down, 2nd tank going to follow. Turned into a very good game from Lambo, who's going to keep up the aggression. SCV's going down that right side again. Does he have enough to dive in over here? Maybe not. He is still playing Ling Bane. He's on his way to the Ultra Cavern. You got to imagine that Ultra Cavern eventually is where you really want to be in this game. Get to those Ultras, and then you really do have that kind of throw your units at your opponent composition ready to go. A little bit of Ling Bane continues to gather in. And that Ling Bane joins, just see the Conquerors of Shell and the Marauders. You need to stack up. Obviously, you're going to need some Marauders to help you against these first round of Ultras that are going to be on the way. The Orbital is going to get low. Lambo putting some extra pressure on it. And a few more SCVs as he keeps the aggression in general just on the way and just keeping it pumping at the moment. Conquerors of Shell is the next step. I would really like to. I mean, can Q get anything on the map? Obviously, he got cleaned up pretty heavily, which is why he's kind of pinned back at the moment. See those Lings actually dropping in. It's very fun as well, but a single drop load is never going to change too much. But maybe it's just about the distraction. Gives Lambo the chance to jump on this army at the front. Like I said, maybe I would have been okay with him waiting until the Ultras came out, but tries to go and take advantage of the distraction of the Lings in the main base. I don't hate it. He rebuilds quickly on the Lings, and once you get a couple Ultras on the way, he'll spend the rest of that money very easily. He's not quite maxed out, though, and he does get some more SCVs, so there's definitely some bonuses here from Lambo, and with Ultras on the way, and most importantly, he's going to be much tougher to kill, just because Kira has the extra 5 to 10 army supply in the game on the back of a fight like that. Lambo's ready for the counterattack again, by the way. Instantly moves through, just absolutely ready to punish the Terran for wanting to move out. Kira turns around, the Ling Bane will try and make a getaway. So we may get a few of those Lings out of there. There's only a handful, realistically, that make it out alive. Extra bits of Marine Marauder still coming up. Ultras continue to build, +3 Carapace kind of still coming online. The Wood Mine gets picked off. Ling Bane joining up. Did you have an army on the left? Thinking about what it would like to do. The few Lings on the right side going to get rid of a few SCVs. Five workers going down. Bio still getting jumped on. Lings getting some grabs. I mean, I love this. Just Lings trading out for a couple of Marauders here. And Kine is playing in +3 Carapace is about to finish. The Ultras that are out are really going to be full strength now. It's only a couple of them. Even a couple can start to cause chaos. I wouldn't mind seeing, if we trade out another 15, 20 Lings, we start seeing 2 more Ultras and just really adding that Ultra count up and just making it so difficult for, Kira to just stand in these fights. 2 Ultras you can kind of stand against, kite a little bit against. The more there are, the more difficult that's going to be, honestly. It's going to be difficult no matter what. Kira is down to 130 supply. He's only down 15 army supply, but he has 0 bank to speak of, and that's going to be a big issue as Lambo runs in from the left, the right, and all over. And he is going to be looking good as he crashes through a bunch of SCVs again. You can see even right now the Ultra is a problem to get rid of. Takes a very long time. Planetary Fortress will fall. You're going to say GG as he got absolutely manhandled by Lambo in this game. Start to finish, it was Lambo this and Lambo that and Lambo. And Lambo is going to take the 1-1 scoreline here in the series. Raw Minadia, thank you again for the 101-month resub. Going beyond the 100. Crazy, crazy things. Thank you so much for the resub. We appreciate it. As we dive into Persephone for the game 3 then. Lambo playing a great game there. Can he get the same going for himself in a third and final map? Updates on the bracket, by the way. Percival 2-1 Classic. Percival goes to the semis. ByuN 2-1 Trigger. ByuN goes to the semis. What is going on? MaxPax and Shameless are the only remaining Protoss players in the event. It's Terran Day here in LIULI Cup. And they are making themselves known about so far. Crazy. Crazy. Game number 3 coming in here in a second, hopefully. Players ready. And we can go, go, go. I'd love to see that. I definitely want to see Lambo make the semis now. If it was a ZVT against Percival in the round of 4, that'd be super exciting. Super exciting. Let's see if it goes his way or if Cure will draw it back in his favor for the final result. In the bottom left, our red Zerg player is going to be Lambo. Taking on the blue Terran in the top left corner of the map, we are going to have Cure. It's not very often you see Cure get kind of outplayed mid-game. I think later game you can sometimes see Cure outsped and so on, but you know, Cure's not the fastest player out there. But he's very good at doing what he needs to with the speed at which he plays at. And he's also very precise with how he plays. It's very rare to see him kind of get ripped apart by the pure speed of his opponent like that, and that was Lambo absolutely stepping up and showing us kind of a side of Lambo I think a lot of people don't really expect to see either, which is the Lambo that is all over the ZVT, completely controlling. And it would have been so cool to see Lambo in the EWC main event. But lost to Gabe was rough. He played such good ZVT all day. He was so close in all the matchups he played too. I just would have loved to see what he could do, and obviously his ZVT was already looking so good. I actually feel like his ZVZ and ZVP might have been very contendable and very much so able to make a bit of a run or something. Looking kind of sick. CC morphs into the orbital command right now. The Reaper is on the way up. Hatch in the pool coming about. As we take a few moments here. Overlord heading up toward the natural. SCV down to the bottom side, having a little scout around. Drone pulls away. Reaper just going to continue to gather up. CC is about halfway done. The couple of queens continue to build. The Reaper will go after the Zerglings. And that drone going to get jumped on a little bit as well. Ling's going to come back the other direction. Reaper going to get chased. How did Percival be classic? I don't know. I didn't see it, but apparently it was on the Korean stream, so maybe someone saw it or maybe some VODs available. I think a couple people mentioned already in the stream, so I imagine a couple people have something to maybe suggest for it. Orbital command and the CC going through. The Reaper going to hit the grenade, bops the Queen backward a little bit. Back goes to the reactor. The barracks moves over to the top. Additional drones on the way through for the moment. Again, Reaper will just be gathering for a second. Starport coming through. The roach drone from Lambo had some pretty sneaky roach builds here in the EWC as well, so not be completely overly shocked to see that kind of stuff coming out here with the roach run about to be done. There's a little bit of gas available though, not too much just yet. Aliens and the Reaper just going to be right there, going to get turned around by the Queen for the moment. A couple of Marines will go. Overlord goes down. Now the Hellions turning around. The few roaches still coming up. The Banshee, the Hellion, the Cloaking will continue to be brought into play for the moment as we get all of that settled. Again, the lair and the drones coming online. The roaches are building as we speak. And a couple of Hellions still making their way out down that right-hand side. Lair building. Drones the roach coming up. Might just be playing roaches in case of the mech as well, right? Just, you know, if it's a mech open, you can continue to play into roaches. If it's not, you can transition into Ling Bane later down the line. Once you're secure and you're not going to just die to Cyclones or so super early because you weren't ready of it. You only caught bits and pieces of the Percival Classic game, but Percival had some clean play playing MMM Ghost. Wow. Whoa, are you telling me he won the game beyond the 10-minute marker? Just to clarify, Percival won the game beyond the 10-minute marker in TVP. It's just funny because yesterday I remember getting yelled at by chat because Terrans could not possibly win mid or late game TVP. You can confirm. Wow. Okay. So, well, someone's got fake news. Either this Percival Classic series is fake news, or the or yesterday was some fake news. It was just one guy. Yeah, it was just one guy, but you know when someone's so much of an idiot that you think about them the day after as well? That was that guy. That was that guy. That was you? Hi. How's it going? I really thought your take yesterday was stupid. You genius. Maybe a genius in the moment. Maybe the long term will turn in your favor. See, look at me. I remember all my viewers. Means the Roaches continue to play defense here. A couple of Hellions get turned around. A couple of those going down already as we just have the cleanup being made. And she's coming back over again. One more upgrade on the way up as well. Just going to get this on the way. Going to see the couple medivacs loading in full, and Q are going to try and start dropping across the map. Lambo is on his way to that melee upgrade now, and Infestors as well. So an Infestor or two to accompany him as he goes into Hive Tech. A couple of fungals here and there can always be very nice. The biggest concern with those Infestors is just keeping them alive long enough to have made them a worthwhile investment. It's not like he's going heavy onto the Infestors. Like I said, just a couple for support purposes, but I don't hate that. I think that's absolutely fine. Sometimes they will do a lot, and sometimes they may not quite land land what they need, but like I said, I think that's a fairly okay scenario to be in, to be honest. Melee upgrade plus 2 carapace all coming through. The link speed coming up as well. The Roach is going to get them. The Medivacs have to pull away for the moment. Just going to pull those straight out. Marines and the Medivacs continue to gather together. Ultra Cavern coming up. Infestors on the way. Actually getting another Overlord, which is nice. Lambo's lost a few of those, and that's going to be supply blocks starting to come around because of it, so this will be a little bit impactful as the Marines get there. The Overlord will get picked off already. Just seeing again the plus 2 carapace and the melee upgrade continuing through. The Ultra Cavern halfway done as well. Let's continue with that. Melee upgrade still coming by. The renal glands is starting in this hatchery. Also going to go and continue up for the moment. 2-2 upgrades, vehicle plating coming through. Again, 2-2 on the side of Lambo as well. Viper, Ultra Cavern, all continuing up. It's going to be seen a Baneling Nest is on the way from Lambo as well. The Marine Tank, Marauder, going to make a little bit of a push forward. One Infestor goes down immediately. Now we're going to see a little bit of Bio jumping onto the hatch on the other side. The hatchery will fall. A few broodlings are dropping. Again, the 2-2 continues to come out for the moment. Nowhere near as much chaos in this game from Lambo, right? Just Kira able to... I mean, obviously the roaches don't give you as much running around potential. And since that has been the kind of setup, Kira's had a lot more control himself. I mean, this is concerning, because if you lose this base down here, I mean, that's going to be goodbye fourth base, essentially. We do have fungals available. We hold position for a second there as Lambo. I mean, if we could land the fungals, that would be absolutely massive. The ultras have opportunity to help out as well. It's a blind cloud off. Fungal lands on a few units. I mean, ultras through the speed zones look absolutely ridiculous, by the way. I feel like ultras running through speed zones should just be able to kill units by walking into them when they come out, you know? It's just like the sheer velocity of this unit should count for something. Why does Lambo like the lurkers? Might just be the way that the game's going. I don't think there's anything wrong with kind of playing into ultras initially a lot of the time. Like, lurkers can work, but there's also a thing where I think on Persephone as well, if you go to lurkers, your opponent can definitely play around those a little bit with some of the drops and moving left to right, and the lurkers get spread out very quickly. It's just a different style. I mean, Lambo has played lurkers. Lambo just played lurkers a fair amount. Oh, that's a hell of a fungal with the ultras there to capitalize as well. It's actually a huge deal. Like, the fungal on its own is probably not going to do much. That's one of those moments where it's like, well, I want a fungal, and nothing happens. But actually, the ultras helped a lot to happen. Lambo does have to turn around and run a few more infestors on the way up. So far, the fungals have been the big part of the reason why this has been seen success. A little bit of bio from Kira pulls out to the front. Liberator range on the way up as well, by the way, for those Liberators. Get those to be a nice, powerful state. Libs will start the siege. The bio pushing forward. Queen in trouble. Creep Tumor is obviously going to start going down. This hatch being pressured, going to, kind of force Lambo's hand a little bit just to pull the trigger and go. Those Ravager are going to just stomp their way in, off creep on that left-hand side, but they do end up getting there. Liberators going down as the corrosive files begin to connect. I mean, Libs still lasted for quite a while, and they got a lot of damage done during this. Lambo supply is not exactly pretty. Files his own Ultralist there as well as he runs underneath it from trying to get the Liberator. And a Spire on the way from Lambo as Kyo just continues into additional Libs. That Infestor is dead. As far as saying bomb on the medevac, but it just gets split from very comfortably. Obviously, we do get at least the Liberator kill there, so we do get the Biles to connect. As a bonus. Now just going to have ourselves the rest of this Ultra Ravager still moving through a few lings. Continuing the production tab as well. Lambo going to try the run by, but there's units already in position. Lambo just feels constantly behind by like 10 supply or so. I'm a little worried that a lot of his ultras right now are low HP. We need some Queen transfusions or something. Get these ultras healthy again, otherwise it's going to be a lot of supply that drops off very quickly. Lambo's still trying to lead in with the infestors, try and find some fungals. There's not any ghosts, right? So EMPs and so aren't there, so the infestors maybe aren't as scared as usually they would be. That's a good push through on the ground to some extent, but the Liberators are still holding out in the sky, and actually there's still a bio behind it all with it being said and done. Another nice fungal, but Lambo just doesn't have the continued income to kind of keep on affording this, it seems. Resource lost is going to be heavily favored to Kira as well, I'd imagine, and it is 6,000 difference, so it does look as though Kira is just out efficiencying Lambo in this game. And that's obviously kind of meant to be the way of TVZ, but then this is why Game 2 was so impressive from Lambo. He was all over. He was denying economy. He was making the game difficult for Kira. This game, in comparison, Kira's been set at 80 SCVs the entire time. The bases have just kept on expanding. I think that truly has not really been a I think that's truly not really been a moment where we see the game kind of be in Lambo's control. It's been Kira moving here, Kira moving there. Lambo's initiated fights, but only because Kira's been on his side of the map. You know, it's never really been Lambo fighting fully under his own terms. It's always been kind of Kira having a little bit of something to say about how things are setting up. Corruptors might get rid of the Liberators here, but we already lost some of the Ultras, and the Ultras on low HP. It's going to make it difficult to continue through still. And again, it's just now you're going to lose another hatchery. You just got to be dealing some damage to the economy during this as well. On the other side of the map, it's simply an Overseer. That's not going to do anything. That is not going to get it done. Then Corruptor Ultra on the way out. Infestor being added on. The Frizz will be sieging. Bio pushing down the right side. A couple of Widow Mines coming along with it. He obviously just has so much still that he's able to just stand on the precipice of the Zerg creep, pushing and threatening into the bases. And again, just making it very difficult altogether here for Lambo. There's no real easy choice or easy mode or easy decision for Lambo at this point. It's just kind of trouble across the board. He does push this back, but GG's called. GG's on even-ish supplies, but the reality is Kira is freaking rich, and Lambo is never going to have the economy to replace the army in the way that he needs to. Kira going to make it a TVT semi-final on the bottom. 3 Terrans in the top 4. Apparently MaxPax and Shameless are still playing as well. It'll be Kira versus Percival, and ByuN versus MaxPax or Shameless. So I believe we're probably going to go Korean server and into the TVT first. I think they are going to do both the best of 3 semis on stream back-to-back first. Excuse me. Just trying to figure out what's going on so I can BRB a sec myself, but let's just ask. Double check. Alright, Kira Percival first, guys. We're going to hop to Korea. I'll BRB a couple moments. We'll come back more StarCraft on the way in the LIULI Cup. As you can maybe hear, the lobby invites are going out. And we ready ourselves up for a TVT semi. What with all the Terrans and the semis? Yeah, kind of a fun set of results today, actually. I mean, Percival being classic is a shocker. Here's me. I could have gone Percival classic, and I was like, you know what? I actually don't think that series is going to be that good. I actually don't think that's going to be that interesting. So let's go for Cure Lambo. How wrong I was. How wrong I was. Alright, semi-final number 1. We will cast both of these semi-finals, by the way, so this will be back-to-back semi-action. The other semi-final is set as well, by the way, ByuN versus MaxPax. So we start off with the TVT semi, then we'll have a TVP semi, then we'll have the finals. That's how the day pans out. In the top right-hand side, the blue Terran player here is Cure, and he takes on the red Terran. In the bottom left, we've got Percival. Let's see what we get. Do. Nothing much going on early. Obviously, as TVT, those who can read a little bit into the gases as a single gas comes up from Percival and the double gas comes up from Cure, telling us a bit about what's going on right from the get-go. So, single gas obviously means much more kind of focus on getting that expansion down, whereas the double gas will be the aggressive player in the foreseeable future. So that's what's coming up at the moment. Orbitals will start on both sides, and like I say, you can see the extra gas in the bank already from Cure, while the extra minerals are there from Percival, going to lead to him dropping that expansion down significantly sooner. SCV nibbling at the other SCV, and again, Factory coming through, Reaper on the way. Reaper's going to hop out and start heading to the bottom left-hand side. Reaper going to come up to the top on the side of Percival as well. Obviously, Reaper's always interested in TVT. You don't really want to kind of get aggressive with them, because being the aggressor with the Reaper generally lands you in trouble. And you don't really want to be in trouble, because losing a Reaper can actually be pretty impactful on your game plan. Whether you were going to be aggressive and now you can't be, that's obviously very painful. Whether you were going to be defensive and now you have no unit to be defensive with, that's obviously extremely painful. So, a lot of reasons for, for being concerned, basically. We're heading to the bottom left. Away we go. Cyclone in the mag field coming up. Got CCs earlier here from Percival, so you're kind of looking at Cure as to what we're going to do about it. It's going to be with that Cyclone play. It's going to be his game plan. Well, Cyclone's going to lock, only going to take a little bit of damage. It's going to be seeing the Reaper going to continue to fight as well. And going to shoot a couple shots coming about. Raven and the Matrix continue to come through. A couple of medevacs coming about as well. Let's see the Cyclone on both sides. Medevac still building through. Just going to be having the Backfield being done though, and that's going to give Kyo all of the pressure that he's been looking for in the early stages. Medevac's load up, just going to start boosting across the bottom left side. Siege Tank Marines, the Raven coming through as well. Cyclone's from full patrol. The Hellion going to be right there. The Medevac's ready for a little unload into this main base. Cyclone's going to drop straight off, and we are going to see the Cyclone's going to get locked onto. And the backfield is going to allow these to be very powerful. It didn't actually have a lock-on from Cure to that second Cyclone to Percival, but now he did. Cyclone's going to continue to kite and do some work. Locks onto the Ravens, going to force the auto turret. Healthier Medevac gets the pickup, but it runs right into the Marines. And Percival will continue to chase and hunt this down. That Medevac low. Cyclone stuck in the corner. And honestly, all said and done, yeah, Percival lost like an extra Cyclone or so, but I wouldn't say that this was overly terrible. He obviously killed a Medevac too. They come back in with the Cyclones now, and he does get by. The Ravens are going to be not able to keep up with that. They are super low as well, so they're going to have to be very careful. So these extra little bits from the Cyclones that I like a lot from Kua. Before now, actually felt as though Percival had a very good defense. The fact these two Cyclones get away alive, and they got damage on the exit, really goes and says a lot about what happened in those last few moments. Engineering bays and barracks continue to come through. Stimpak's still about halfway done. The armory coming online. Factory building. Vikings on the way. Siege tank on the way. Old command's going to float out to the low ground in the next moment or two. So again, we just get that position. The Cyclone's locking on for a couple of Marines already. Still got the mech upgrades coming about, so getting Kua powered up for the moment. One coming up on both sides. Interference Matrix, the second club gets taken out. Maybe the end of that, a little bit of attempted harass. Obviously, Percival playing the bio. Wants to try and not take damage right now. If you're the bio player, you're going to be trying to play from ahead on economy, ahead on bases. He's trying to do as much as we can in that regard as the 1-1 upgrades, and again, continuing from both sides. Yeah, I always like it for the mech player. It's because I feel like if the mech player is on the same amount of bases and supplies looking even, I always feel like they're in a very good spot typically, but not always completely 100% true. Obviously, this game is still playable on both sides at the moment. Raven there helping to zone out. Medevac poised to try and get something more done. The Vikings turning back the other way. Concussive shells and combat shield coming up as well. Pre-ignited coming along. Concussive shells coming up. Marauder coming about. The armory still coming through as well. As you just see the depots coming down. See, the Hellions always going to be the units trying to throw themselves away for some workers. Hellbat's actually getting a lot of work done as well as the Hellbat drop comes in, gets some SCVs. They're obviously just keeping the mining from happening as well. We're actually going to see some Marines in here. Hellbat's dropping on top, get rid of a few of the Marines already so they can stick around and get some SCVs after too. Now, Honestly, not a bad little set of attacks from Cure. Always nice when as the mech player, you're the one that can be out on the map and dealing damage and really take control of the game a little bit. That's always such a good feeling. Finally gets there, a couple of shots. Units gathering up as we play cleanup for now. He's getting one more SCV. Q just going up to a 4th base. Percival has got 4th base down. He's going to start his transition for the later game. 2 additional starports coming up. You want to see those because realistically, as the game goes by here, Bio does not scale well deeper into the game against mech. The mobility advantage, the attempted base expansion advantage, it wears down a little, right? So it makes a lot more sense to be seeing the extra starports coming through and to start looking toward the air units to help you out further in this one. And Viking Helling coming up. Continuing through. Just going to see how PCs again building on both sides currently. Nice opportunity found from Percival. Going to be able to jump through onto a bunch of these siege tanks. Gets a lot of work done there. Obviously loses out on the majority of units in the end, but actually getting through a few of the tanks is very nice. Could have been even better if he just pulled back a moment sooner, perhaps found a way to escape. Big fight coming through. So many tanks still in play. It's so annoying because the Hellbats take so long to get through as the bio player as well, so it feels like you're just endlessly fighting those while the tanks are set up and shelling on you, which is why you don't really want to be taking more straight up fights like this. You can see the air control right now of Kira really showing as the Vikings just clean up. And we're probably just going to keep stepping tanks forward. We're just going to land the Vikings even to play cleanup, so we're going to unsiege all the tanks, and Kira is going to come shoving through, and looks as though he is going to have more than enough to take out a game 1 of this series. Damn. Cutthroat action here from our Blue Terran, who just will not stop. I mean, SCVs pull into this as well. Tanks will have some issues with the units getting up close, but honestly, at the end of the day, it's just more than enough tanks to shell through the entire thing and get the victory. GG's. And we are going to have ourselves a Cure advantage in this best of 3 semi-final. I felt like Percival was having a good time for a while in this, but just didn't keep it going at the end. And the 1-0 lead goes to Q as we set up for game 2 in a moment. Just some air in the room. Island for our second map. Lovely. Toasted. Let's kick this off. Into Pylon we go. In the bottom right hand side, the Blue Terran player. Representing Team Liquid, we've got Cure. Up a game as we head into a second map of this TVT. Pylon is the battlefield. Percival is the opponent. Again, last game already felt like Cure had a good start, and a good start with mech feels so nice. Controlling the game the entire way through and everything, just very, very powerful. Well, double gas from both players this time. Obviously, last game, Percival tried to expand a little bit sooner. We'll see, Percival going to be the one to really change it up this game with the double gas, at least early. Would we see Q open Macfield a second time? It's definitely not the most common way to open it all in TVT, so... Reaper heading up to the top. Factories on the way up as the SCVs and the Reapers get building for the moment. As the Reapers starting to fight, and the Reapers going back and forth for the moment as the Command Center continues into play at the moment as well. Nothing really too wild happening. Just a little bit of setting up, obviously mirroring each other with the Reaper Hellion. And then it will build on both sides. The Hellion Reaper still continues through the SCVs on the way. Couple Reaper hopping up into the high ground. Getting the SCV a little bit. A couple Reapers and the Hellion chase away as well. And those Reapers gather up. Stop what's still coming through. The tech lab and the reactor continuing to come about as well. The Hellion's still gathering, and you just take a few more moments at this point in time. The Hellion comes up once more. Let's see, the SCV is actually going to be starting to pull in. The couple of Reapers taking some damage. 7, 8. SCV's going down. It's kind of huge. Percival just showing up with these Reapers, and boy, he's just popping off. Kills a Reaper, then goes for 13 SCVs deep. One more at the end. 14 workers killed. And Q is at 15 workers at the start of this game. What happened? Q just out of position. Reapers hop through. Nothing on the way to play defense for an eternity. And Percival clearly just struck at the golden moment here to get straight up just ridiculous amount of damage dealt. The Onions will step forward, a couple of Hellions will clash at each other. Raven continues through, a couple of Cyclones locking on still. Going to be seeing the Raven overhead, moving about also. Cyclone locks on once more, a few more shots. Good, really needed to get something done here, but he's going to come out 13 SCVs down, so the defense is made, and Percival is looking fine and dandy to continue through in a fantastic position in this second game currently. Defense is absolutely golden. Vikings on the way, tank being built, the Raven, the Matrix. Siege tank as well continues through, a couple more SCVs coming online. Tank, the Marines, and the Raven all still gathering up together. So the Interference Matrix is going to be finishing very soon. Yeah, and Raven and a few Marines continue to come out for now as the units continue to collect. Starport completes, and we have ourselves the additional Marines just popping on through. The siege tank is on the way. Add a Raven onto that as well. Looking good as we continue to set up just for the moment. Like I say, it's looking pretty for Percival. Still up 12 workers. That damage in the early game is the kind of damage that lingers for the rest of the game, right? It's not damage you just kind of glance over and kind of get away from, so makes a lot of sense so far. There's moving about, Marine tank coming through as well. Percival going down the bottom right side. We're actually going to get into a little bit of a base trading situation. Is obviously Pew just runs into the natural. Percival's going to turn around. Ooh! Oh no! I don't know if I like the turnaround. Tank pops out, goes down instantly. I mean, this is a ton of damage being done. Like, you need to clean up everything here realistically as Percival, and then go across the map and do serious damage yourself, because you're taking a ton of damage. 25 workers down, and Percival is certainly in trouble. Would it have been better for him to base trade? What's on the other side? I think it would have been better for him to base trade, honestly. At the very least, he would have come over the natural completely. And now he's lost 33 SCVs. He was so far across the map, and yes, Q hit first, but I think he was far enough across he could have justified continuing to go. As a couple of Vikings load back up into the skies, army will continue forward. And we start to head our way to the bottom right corner of Pylon. Game number 2 on the line. It was looking so good for Percival. We were dreaming for him. We were feeling good, and it is going to go all so very wrong with that move. Fewer with less found a way to make it worth more. And now Percival still has an army supply lead. He must just go, though. You're going to see the Liberator there going to get shot down. The Raven's going to get shot at. This is going to attack, move forward. I don't mind it. The 2 siege tanks will go down. The Vikings can land as well. Help out on the ground. Yep, good, doesn't have enough. It's still okay for Percival. He is going to get it done with the counterattack. But my goodness, our heart stopped for him for a moment after what looked like pure success. Completely backfired. Sorry guys, give me a second to move a couple things about. Ultra Love coming up, by the way, as well. Just need to send someone some info quickly. Sorry guys, give me one sec. Realize something's not right on my setup. Alright, apologies guys. I'll take you in game. As we get into game 3 of this series. In the bottom left, he almost won the positional warfare in the TVT to grab him back and get some work done and nearly win the game. It is Cure in the bottom left. It wasn't quite enough. He couldn't hold on against the counterattack in the end. He gave up his army to do the damage. Couldn't find the defenses in the top right. Percival! Obviously the player that nearly lost it all after having it all set up. Not ideal. Alright, so take a couple moments, we get settled into game 3. We're building through, factory coming up, and get ourselves settled here. Double gas from Percival. It's Cure that goes for the faster expansion now after being the double gas player 2 games in a row. I like it in some ways for Ultra Love. I mean, generally the earlier attacks are a little bit weaker here because, let's face it, you're attacking up a very narrow ramp that doesn't usually do a lot for your opponent. It does a lot for you defensively. The problem I do have is that Ultra Love can be a really good map to just take a siege on and to siege up and kind of fire across the ledge into the natural. And that actually can be very scary a lot of times, so I think that's my bigger concern about expanding quickly on Ultra Love, because if your opponent has the fast attack, they can absolutely be the player to more quickly get into that position. And that position is not a game ender, but it makes it much more difficult for you to deal with. So I do actually like that in general from the... I do kind of like that kind of perspective of it, so... Yeah, I do think there's opportunity here for sure, as you see Cure kind of taking that fast expand, but I do think there's opportunity for Percival to absolutely punish it as well. 2 Reapers hop up. We're going to get in. SCV in trouble. Chased. Killed. Marine has to step back as well. Now the SCV on the starport gets killed as well. It's 2 SCVs down. Percival getting some revenge, as it was obviously Cure's Reaper to hit first, but his Reapers to hit second, and they hit harder. And now a Hellion here too. He'll continue to zone this area a little bit, but Reaper's taking a bit of damage. We'll drop some grenades, but in general should be looking to get away from this. Has a 3rd Reaper showing up. He just wants to regen some HP though. He doesn't want to run in with the low HP Reaper and get nothing from it. There's still opportunity as he has extra units reinforcing. Cyclone is not ready yet from Cure, so as we go up this ramp, the Hellion leading the charge. Again, not bad from Percival. Getting some damage done, doesn't lose anything, can regen the HP on those Reapers. And just making this difficult for his opponent, as the natural cannot mine just yet. And Percival really just making sure that this, single gas opener is not going to find too many benefits in the slightest. Reaper Hellion comes about. Cyclone locking on. 1 Hellion going down. 2nd Hellion going down. The Reapers continue to run away. Medevac comes boosting over to the right-hand side. The Raven not far from being done. The interference matrix building up as well. And the game will calm, but it's anyone's game right now. And these Reapers show up. They're going to get a couple more SCVs for sure. That's going to be at least 4 kills. There's the drop on the other side. There's a Cyclone defensively here. The auto turret will be used to ensure the defense ASAP. We're at 6 worker kills now. Gonna blast. I mean, there's a Marine that we could probably grab as well if we wanted it. Not bad damage overall. 6 SCVs going down. The Medevac's still on the move. Another Mule will drop into place as the Viking tank continues to come online. The Raven coming through. Starport in the top corner. Gonna get going as well. And Vikings on both sides at the moment. Raven gonna get locked onto. The few Marines stepping forward. The Medevac just getting chased away. Vikings will try and fly a Raven going down. Matrix coming down as well. It's going to keep on pushing through. That tank will get denied, and we keep on pushing up. Cyclone gets another marine or so. The medevac still moves back and forth. Another scan coming through one more time. Viking stepping forward. One more Viking coming across. The siege tank is still on the way. The starport is producing. Everything's coming through for the moment there as the Vikings will go. Putting each other up. Cyclone going to go for the Viking in return. Raven will fall. Nice grab. Two more Vikings have made it this far. And Percival sits out the front a little bit, but can't get into that kind of super dangerous position. Vikings are still overhead. One tank will unsiege. More Vikings are moving up. So is the siege tank. We got Stimpack actually building about to be done as well. It's going to be huge. Yeah, playing the double starport is typically meant to be an aggressive push, but he's getting the third command center, which makes me wonder, is there really truly aggression kind of still in store for him here? Obviously Percival's third morphing into an orbital as we speak. It's so weird you see the double starport versus double starport. And what's funny is that Percival really kind of gets outnumbered on the double starport Viking count here as well. So yeah, Percival just being the aggressor still has given him the chance to kind of just back into something else sooner, I suppose, in the end. This Viking's still stepping up, trying to see what's going on. Units gathering together, combat shield building as well. Another scan comes into the main base we keep a track of. The Vikings producing the siege tank on the way, etc., etc. Cyclone Wars will go to Cure, but I'll let you know a little spoiler. His Cyclone started with an advantage. He had more HP to begin with. Unbelievable. As the Vikings attack in. And the Vikings is going to be so valuable right now. If you're Cure, do you not start building a couple of Liberators here? No, apparently you just drop your Vikings onto your opponent's siege tanks and you're just winning this fight at the moment. There's not even need the Liberators. Just keep building tanks and there's actually nothing to stop him from pushing forward at the moment. The SCVs are pulling in, the tank gets sieged up in the back, but we can absorb a few hits from that, no doubt. Like we've just said, we are significantly ahead, and right now this is about continuing to gain momentum. So it's worth giving up a couple of units to keep that momentum in position and to keep that all going in your favor. There's a few Vikings coming through one more time. Just looking for some opportunity. Tank shots going down, tank will get picked away at. Just going to be seeing the Vikings and the tank continuing up as well. 1-1 upgrades coming through. Marine Marauder Medevac continue to come online. Just going to see the bio close in the distance. Couple of tanks going down. Vikings will continue to fire. The Medevac's still right there. Here obviously looking good numbers wise. This tank's holding strong, not getting pushed back. This really does look as though Kyo is going to have himself a place in the finals of this LIULI Cup 1. Again, the top place in town at EWC is looking to get it done. Vikings going to shoot. Orbital taking some damage. A little bit of bio looking to break forward as well. A couple of tanks going to be shot away at as we see the Vikings loading back up into the skies. Still chasing the orbital for the moment. Going for a little bit extra wherever we can find it. Vikings still aiming for those medevacs, trying to find some extra shots. Army gathering up. 3 more libs coming through. Siege tank and the starport coming about. We are going to be seeing those extra libs still on the way in. Cities coming over. Liberator going to siege overhead. Marines on the other side. Vikings going to drop down the ground. There's, honestly, Percival's making a great effort of breaking out, but the reality of the scenario is he's dead. To be fair, a lot of the, the leaders in the eco, 88 SCV, excuse me, 88 SCVs for Cure is a little bit wild. GG's. Cure 2, Percival 1. We are all wrapped up on that semi-final. ByuN vs MaxPax coming up next. What's up, Deadly Donkey Kin? 10-month resub. Happy to see the tournament's going well. Hell yeah. Thank you so much for the resub. We appreciate it. We got blasted the last few days, guys, on the sub count. We were at 600. I was hyping up to 700, and we got destroyed. So if you are enjoying the stream, you consider supporting the channel. Just like towel with the full donation. Let me just quickly open my stream elements to read that properly, rather than trying to read it off stream before it disappears. Been loving being able to listen to you cast while getting ready for work. Can't watch and you do a great job of letting me enjoy with just the audio. Hell yeah. That's what I specialize in, you know. 50k on YouTube soon. Yes, the road to 50k YouTube subs is kind of on the way there. So it's getting there. Am I going to be commentating the Uthermal 2v2 tourney today? Yes, that starts up in a couple of an hour and 40 minutes, hour and 20 minutes. We'll be going into that as soon as this tournament ends, or as soon as that begins. Honestly, we might we are officially meant to be the Uthermal event, so we will guarantee we cover that. Guys, I'm gonna just go grab a drink while we get into this game. I might be like 20 seconds late getting going, but I'll be right back. Didn't even begin. Crazy. God, I was so on time. So cool. Alright guys, semi-final 2, ByuN MaxPax. Imagine this lasts for more than an hour 20 minutes. Yeah, well then we just do the Uthermal tournament as soon as it begins. So, yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Let's go. Gonna have ourselves in the bottom left-hand corner. A blue Protoss player is going to be MaxPax. Taking on in the top right, the red Terran, it's going to be ByuN. One of the best of three and get settled in. ByuN played a great series against MaxPax the other day in the WardiTV Monday, which he wasn't able to close out. MaxPax did end up winning it. Let's see what happens though as we get ready to rumble. SCV nibbling at the probe nibbling at the SCV. Next in the side, we'll continue to build up. Marine actually going to get on top of that probe for a couple moments as well, so some damage being dealt. Or just a little bit. Some work getting done as the CC drops into the main base. Factory still building through as well. We get that on the way. Nexus, Adept, Warpgate, Assimilator, building by for the moment as we just get ourselves everything settled and ready to roll. Factory's about to finish up. The Stargate is still coming online. Seeing the factory landing onto the tech lab. Going to be seeing the Cyclone on the way out already. Just going to bring that straight over for the moment. Ourselves. Cyclone continue to come on through. The Stargate is such a weird opening, especially for MaxPax. What is going on? Is he just afraid? Does he feel like the Stargate's going to give him some defensive ability here? He may not be wrong, but it can also land him in a little spot of bother as well. Again, Starport just going to crank out that medevac. Phoenix on the way through. Just going to be rallying that Phoenix to the other Phoenix as well for a couple of moments right now. And now Phoenix will just gather. We do see the barracks joining up. Getting settled in for the moment. A couple of Marines coming through. SCVs and a tank coming up as well. Bit of everything on the way forward for the moment. Probe facility also coming about. Phoenix shots coming through. Warpgate coming over. Medevac trying to come around. The Phoenix is going to gather. We'll just chill on the side. Obviously, the Phoenix going across the map. If they reveal themselves, then you can go in with that medevac as ByuN. So this is going to be ByuN. I'd be surprised if he didn't dive with the medevac now, because I feel like that's the best chance you're going to get. 5 SCVs go down, so the Phoenix make use of themselves. The medevac is going to go, but it was seen by the probes, so there's a little bit of pre-warn. We're going to recall the Phoenix. Is that good enough to deny this? Both Widow Mines get lifted, and the Phoenix are going to get rid of both. Nicely handled there. Back building, 3 Marines and the tank continue to come through. We're just going to have ourselves the Phoenix going to fire. The Marines get underneath. A couple of Phoenix get chased the other way. We'll see again. Stimpack and +1 still building through. Barracks added on. Marines and SCVs coming online as well. Phoenix and Colossus, extended thermal lance, additionals. being brought up for the moment. That Colossus is about to finish. Popping out. Immortal already going to greet the Cyclone out of the front as the tanks get sieged. The Adepts get turned the other way. Shots still coming through. Actually lift up these Phoenix, lift up these siege tanks here, taking them out of the fight. ByuN does a decent job targeting the Phoenix down to get back into this. One tank in the back. The Marines need to get the hell away from that Colossus, though. It's going to do mega damage. ByuN supply is already trailing off heavily, and it looks like MaxPax is going to take game 1 of this best of 3, as he will just firepower his way through. Phoenix kind of open. It was kind of a weird game. Weird in the sense, like, you know, I feel like my PvT is meant to be, you know, blink into Stalkers, and we really focus on that into charge, and then, you know, we build Storm and stuff, and this was just not that. I was like, ugh. Felt so out of place. Felt so out of position in terms of what was going on. As we'll dive on into game number 2 here in a second. Pile on for our second map, so we're going to get straight into map 2 and resume. Weird, isn't it? It was like MaxPax decided from the outset. Yeah, like, I didn't pick up on anything that, like, pushed us towards this being, like, you know, being like this. Like, you can play Stargate. Let's just, like, who chooses to play Stargate? Who chooses to play Stargate when your name is MaxPax and you can, like, you know, just out-micro everyone with your Stalkers 90% of the time anyway? Like, hello? Hello? Crazy. Crazy. Pylon coming up. Let's get underway. Let's get started. As we load on in. On right side, our blue Protoss player here. Up 1 is going to be MaxPax. As in the top left, our red Terran player, we've got ByuN. Game 2 of this best of 3 as we get this started up and underway. So that probably moves through and gets settled. Let's see what our game 2 gives us as ByuN. I'd say it's been having some okay success against MaxPax, but MaxPax does generally still feel like the favorite player. Let's see if he nibbles at the probe. Pushing that around, pull a little bit. A couple SCVs come about. The probe gonna take some damage. A few shots coming through. And just seeing the Cybercore and the Nexus continue to come about for a moment and continue to settle down. Just for now. Ends up going to be chrono boosting through, continue to get that set up. Just going to be seeing the concussive shells coming about as well. Marauder on the way up, barracks in the command center coming through as well. There is the gateway coming down on the other side. Marauder actually going to hit on the Adept a little bit, so some damage very easily dealt here. That gets pushed the other way. Seeing the extra barracks coming through, the Stimpack building, command center, Marine, a little bit of everything still being brought online here. The Stalker and the Gateways also being produced just for the moment, so just bringing that online for now. Get that all set up. With the engineering bay going to come down in the back. Barracks still coming through. The SCV and the stim pack coming online as well. Those two Marauders actually going to get some good shots off on the Adepts, and the Adepts take some heavy damage already. Some fairly serious damage done there. Again, still seeing that Twilight Council coming online. Continue to see this come through. And Twilight will complete very shortly. Couple probes coming up as we speak. Stimmin +1 on the way. Marauders actually going to be looking for the Stalker right now. Going to be able to get it, so the Stalker drops. Goes down already. I'm just going to say GG. Wow, this is going to be game just like that, apparently. ByuN just doesn't have the setup needed. GG, and everything falls apart. That's not the greatest of semi-finals, but it does mean we get a PvT final. MaxPax taking on Cure, coming up as a best of 5 in a couple of moments. Yeah, that pressure just added up a little too quickly. ByuN not quite prepared, losing a bit too much. And we will get ourselves ready for a finale, which is going to be PvT. Get to stay on the NA server as well. And we'll get that MaxPax Cure series ready to rumble here, guys, for a final best of 5 today on the LIULI Cup. And then we are going to be having, again, the Youth Thermal Tournament starts. The 2v2 starts in 1 hour and 5 minutes. So I'll be coming up in a bit. And, yeah. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Throw some ads up. Get ready to roll. We can go. Go, go, go. I guess I was just waiting for some videos and so on. Correct, never had the chance. Nothing got the chance to get going. I mean, that was genuine aggression out of MaxPax against a ByuN. He just wasn't ready. You know, like, he was close to Stim and so on, so he probably felt sort of safe. He just didn't realize just how aggressive MaxPax was going to step up and be, and MaxPax hitting in that correct moment while his opponent wasn't ready. Alright, we'll take a few moments, guys, get set to rumble. I guess they just take a little bit and we'll get this kicked off. I keep thinking everyone's logged out because I'm looking in the WardiTV chat channel, but we're not using that chat channel today. We're in the chat channel that's like below it. And so every time I look, I'm like, wait, did everyone hop server for some weird reason? It's like, no, they're just in the other chat channel. Oh, yeah. It looks like our first map gets hosted up as Leyline. So we're going to get this started in a couple of moments. Get this ready to rumble. And kick this off. Thanks for joining us, of course. Appreciate you all. Waiting for everyone to be ready. Q just needs a moment, so we'll give him that. And yeah, hope everyone's having a good day. Thanks for joining us. We've got the Uthermal 2v2 in 1 hour's time. So like I say, it's a double whammy of StarCraft today for us, which is great. We don't get to do double whammies of StarCraft a lot nowadays, so I do like it when we can do it. And yeah, hopefully you guys are having a good time. Like I say, if you're enjoying the stream, consider supporting with the subs and so on. But otherwise, we can party up into this finals in a few moments. Not trying to start too hard. Bum bum bum. Yeah, we forgot our host. Get him in and we can try this again. But now we're actually missing someone else that had to log out. So a moment or two, we will get this underway, guys. Progress is being made to getting everyone online and into this lobby. And this finals is about to begin. All right, let's kick this off. Let's get this going. As in the bottom left side, we're gonna have ourselves the blue Protoss. MaxPax taking on in the top right the red Terran player. It is going to be Q. Proxy racks are starting up already. Secure ain't messing around at the start of this series. He's going to get busy, he's going to get feisty, and he is going to get aggressive. MaxPax with the scout of this probe. Proxying 2 barracks is becoming more and more common in this matchup. People are proxy racksing like it's Christmas lately. It's pretty nuts. I don't know why you proxy racks on Christmas, but apparently you do. We'll see what Q does exactly, as it is just going to be a Marine to start us off. That's the kind of fun thing about the 2 racks at the moment. It's not always the Marauders. There's been a variety of different ways of playing the 2 racks that started to come around, and that's definitely had an impact lately. As the SCV nibbles at the probe, pushes it back the other way. And a couple of Marines popping out. The probe moving over the side. Cybercore and the Assimilator continue to come up as well. As you see that probe getting the scouts. These no add-ons, so you do get a good read as to what this is. So you get a little bit more of an idea as to what's going on. Extra Marine showing up. So 2 Marines together going to join in. Stalker chrono boosting. Again, the Marines is going to come chasing. The Zealot is going to go down, so that will fall. Marine's still trying to fire up that ramp, and the Stalker still taking some additional damage. Probe on the gate, continue to come through for the moment. Just going to have the SCV nibbling away. Bunker's in the low ground are going to try and delay things. The SCV getting pushed back, but we have another SCV, so actually for the moment, we'll keep that bunker number 2 building as we do get one SCV killed. Stalkers have to take a moment, though. And that second bunker will indeed finish. The barracks head home from Cure, and this finals is definitely off to a little bit of an interesting start. Definitely a unique way to start things out here so far. Interested to see what the next stage of this game has in store for us. These Stalkers pinging away at the bunker. We will just see the bunker going down. Marines chasing the probe out up to the top side as well. We'll just have ourselves a cycle in the command center. Continue to come through refinery building. And the other barracks coming across as well. A couple Marines going after the probe. Marines still going to be there. Stalkers taking hits. That's going to be a kill and a cancel. And that is going to be the cleanup in the end from MaxPax. No natural. CC of the Terran player building on the low ground, by the way. Cyclone, one Cyclone on the way up to join a few Marines that are over at home against 5 Stalkers that have a Prism to micro against the Cyclone with. Now, these Stalkers are a little bit beaten up, but they're still here, and they're still got, they've got shields on them again, so that's going to be a pretty hefty factor. 2 more Stalkers just warped in. I do not like this at all for Cure. I'm terrified for the guy. I mean, he has got barely anything. Realistically, like, the Cyclone usually pretty good in this scenario. Not so good when the Prism is here to out-micro it. Because then the Cyclone does not do the damage it's meant to do. It does not have the mobility it's meant to have. It's just nowhere near as useful of a unit. GG says Cure as this opening has backfired completely. MaxPax with the defense into the counter-attack for the 1-0 lead. Our finals off to a ferocious start as the Cheeser gets bopped in return this time around. Game 2 in a second. As I don't imagine anyone's going to want to wait around and take too long thinking about that one. I think we're going to want to get going into the next game in comparison. Ultra Love going to be the map dropped here from MaxPax. What's up, Fisher40? Thank you so much for the 4-month resub on the Prime. Appreciate it. In the top right hand side, we're going to have ourselves the blue Protoss player. This is going to be MaxPax. Going to be up 1 game in this finals against Cure. A weird opening, obviously. That obviously just didn't work out for Cure in the end, so we'll see what the second game will bring us. Trucks coming through, get settled down. Take a couple of moments. As the SCVs build over, racks on the refinery coming on up and get underway. See what our plan becomes over the next little bit. Obviously no proxying this time around, so we're going to reset that part of the game plan already. Has to be nibbles. Probe gets pushed to the other side. Chased for the moment. A couple of SCVs continue in after the probe. Cybercore, Nexus, everything coming through for now. And all of this up and online for the moment here. Marine just continues to the bottom left. Again, factory coming up. CC on the way. We just have ourselves the setup continuing for the moment. Pilot Council still building through. The Nexus is coming online. Just have a few Marines going to step forward there, and the Adept will take a little bit of damage. So those Marines step through. Again, more Marines coming about. Starport on the way. That's settled in for the moment here. Is the Adept going to try and shade through into the natural? And we continue to try and see a little bit of what else is going on. Lincoln Wolf Gate, both building. Another Adept just shading straight through. Continue to try and see a little bit of what's up. Marines just joining on in together as a couple of Adepts will continue to settle down. See the Adepts still making moves for the moment. Marines coming about, just going to see the Adepts are shading once more, so away they go, still trying to find their way in for now. Seeing a little bit more of what else is going on. It's like unlocked, so the Adept gets killed. We've seen the army here from Q getting a good little push forward. Medevac obviously getting hit a little bit in return, so some damage being taken. We'll continue to try and push up for the moment, trying to come on through, see where we can get to, but we're just not going to get enough done. The micro back has continued to be good. Not going to be good enough for the moment, so those Stalkers do clean up house. Not bad for now. Is this the Korean cure? Yeah, of course. What other cure is there? I don't think if anyone else has been called Cure in the past. I don't think so, though, right? I think Cure has been a unique name. Stalkers will just gather, and a few more weapons continue to come by, so that all continues up. Charge, Forge, Nexus building in right now. Just gonna see the Stalkers actually blinking up here, and the siege tank gets taken down immediately, so MaxPax already once more just looking to get serious damage done on essentially a counterattack. Obviously did a lot from that previous attack, and he's got the Marines stepping through. See Stalkers getting pulled back and away for the moment. Tank and the Raven coming up, just going to be seeing the Marines coming about. Also got Starport lifting off the tech lab and moving over to the sides. A couple of probes going to get nipped and nabbed right now. A couple of Marines are going to be there to push the Stalkers away. Nexus is going to recall home these Stalkers, and we actually get a little bit of damage done as Cure. You know, amongst all of this, we are only 8 workers down as Cure. The army supply is absolutely fine. This game is absolutely playable for Cure right now. It has felt kind of like he got bullied a little bit, but the reality is, trades have been decent. He did kill a lot of Stalkers in amongst all of this as well, so it's not like MaxPax has been perfectly keeping everything alive while, you know, trades have been taking place. He has had his own losses. That's definitely helped Cure to be stabilized. Otherwise, I think he might be in a little bit more trouble in terms of just trying to stay in this. Steam combat and +1 coming through. The Marauders coming about. A couple of barracks coming in. Marines will run for a little bit as well. Uh-oh, Stim Pack right on the edge. Yeah, Cure cancels it and starts it elsewhere as soon as possible. Just a frustrating place to start your Stim. Easily pickable. And of course, even if the fact you didn't even have to blink in as MaxPax is a bonus, but even if you had to blink in, like, that's still a very exposed Stim Pack, so Not ideal as the Stalkers will play cleanup on the order turret. +1 stim still coming through right now. Attack upgrade coming about, Temple Archives coming into play. Widow Mines and an orbital command building on the other side. Prism still heading out down the bottom. So scan, orbital lifts off. We will see the little bit of bio. Maybe thinking of moving down the low ground here. Again, concussive shells on the way out. Alongside the stim and the armor upgrade. So we will have Kua kind of set to go soon, but not having stim for so long obviously has delayed his potential of moving out, giving MaxPax more time to get toward that storm upgrade, which is now over halfway done. Stalker just getting clipped at the end there and will fall as he tries to kite for as much damage as possible. Does not want to let Kua come across the map freely, wants to make this as simple of a defense as possible at home if that's what it comes down to. That will be his goal. Bio joins up, Observer overhead. Two Stalkers gathering together, and we'll see a couple of them jumping back already. The couple of Zealots are going to come through there and jump onto some SCVs. Tanks will siege. Stalkers blink straight onto those siege tanks. We're going to see a bunch of splitting needing to be done. Break away from that. +2 attack continues up. The Immortal still on the way in. Nine SCVs going down. The Stalkers over that right side. The medevacs are boosting. Kua is going to get caught. One full medevac. Oh, the first medevac didn't go down, but he lost another one, and he lost that one after. I mean, he's just going to lose everything. GG, MaxPax. 2-0 lead. MaxPax storming ahead right now in this best-of-5 final. One map away from victory. And, yeah, looking very good while getting there so far is the TLDR. As this best-of-5 is, yeah, getting away from Kua for sure. MaxPax was a solid run, by the way. Didn't drop a map as he moved through Smile, Shameless, and ByuN. You're obviously a bit of a tougher day. 2-1 Lambo, 2-1 Percival. Obviously beat Young's S 2-0 in his first matchup, but yeah, sort of see the difference here in this finals as we get ready for game number 3. MaxPax leading 2-0. Looks like we might be on time for the 2v2 tournament, guys. Looks like we're going to be okay. Heading to Persephone. In the bottom left-hand side. Up 2-0. The blue Protoss is MaxPax. Taking on the Red Terran. In the top left corner of Persephone, we've got Kua. Well, hasn't really been his game so far. All the little things definitely going wrong for now. Gate and assimilator coming through. Probe continuing up. Racks and a couple of gas coming into play as well. Another gas coming up. CC still building. You can see the probe going around. A couple of SCVs gathering up. Again, the Reaper will just start to come through here as well. So just getting that underway. Reaper building. Orbital command coming up as well. And the Nexus and Cybercore will continue to build into action just for the moment as the probe continues, the pylon continues. We got a little bit of everything continue to come up. Stalker will complete. Factory coming through the simulator building. And Reaper halfway by. Factory going to be finishing soon. The CC is still building up. Reaper heads into the main base to see a little bit of what's going on. The Adept gets there to push the Reaper back the other way for a moment. A little grenade going down, keeping the Adept back as well. Step still up to the top. Again, the Warp Gate, the Stalker, and the Twilight Council continues to come through for the moment. Of course, the Artillery Reapers and the Hellion would love to get something done, but they are currently just going to hunt that Adept down. With the Shade already activated, and this Adept is going to be far enough away. Actually, maybe even going to get an SCV here. SCV has to run. It does mean we get the kill on the Adept, though, and it's going to be 3 Reapers, 2 Hellions. All of that known about by MaxPax, because the Adept sees everything, so he knows exactly what he's playing against. Gives you the chance to position yourself adequately against it. The Reaper's still down the bottom side, going to hop into the main. The Stalker and the Adept together will push the Reapers about. A few more probes pulling over. They're going to fire, a couple of grenades going down. Probes are still getting shot at for the moment. Going to see 3, 4 workers continuing to drop right here. Just going to be seeing our, a couple extra shots coming through. And 4 probes going down. The blink still continuing up. Currently halfway done. Facilities completed. The medevac down the left-hand side. 2 Widow Mines looking to make their play. The Adept to the right. The Hellions in position. I think got a shot off, and now the 2 medevacs going to bounce forward, and well, the Widow Mines going to burrow. The probes pull back. Bang bang. Stalker probe. 3 probes going down. Bunch of damage being dealt. Stalker's going to try and go after the medevac as well. Blink is about to finish. Raven on the way up. A couple of Hellions will go after the Adept also here, just trying to get some damage done. Adept will throw out a Shade. These early game unit skirmishes coming to a close, and at the end of it all, we obviously lost a bunch of units, but I mean, 7 probes is very nice and definitely gives Kira an edge he's not really had before. Bang, and only 1 Widow Mine goes off there, but the Blink will be good to deny the second, and we position the Stalkers in such a way I don't think those Widow Mines ever get out. The medevac's not even going to try and come back in, so MaxPax will play cleanup, but that's now 9 probes dead in the game. You know, it's only 5.5 minutes in, so it's definitely damage dealt early. Store's going to blink across, get into the back of this mineral line. Couple of SCVs down immediately. 2 workers, 3 workers. Going to get picked off right off the bat. 4 workers, 5 workers. Looking for more. 6 SCVs, 3 probes. A lot of damage done so far. We've seen the couple Stalkers in the charge continue to come up as the army gathers back out elsewhere from MaxPax. But both players really dealing with damage, right? 6 SCVs, 4 probes. Again, scrappiness in the start of the game is something that we've been seeing a lot between these two. Even if the scrappiness has typically led to a game end. We're seeing it a little bit here right now again, as the Stalkers will try and make that play for the siege tank. It's going to take a good bit of damage. That Marauder going down as well. Combat Shield, Stimpack, both building up at the moment. And Stim Combat Shield going through. The +1 attack will come about. Going to be seeing the medevacs, the Marauders and the Marine continue to come into play for now as the little bits of everything continue through. Extra barracks going to go down. Again, Temple Archive is about to complete. The gateway will build. Again, got the storm on the way. High Templar's coming up. Few Stalkers blinking over to that left-hand side. Medivacs gonna be right there and actually gonna be seen. So immediately Kira's idea is figured out. He'll double auto turret, making the battery decent work to keep those probes alive. It gets fully drained, but hey, probes didn't die, so it's a success story at the end of the day, really. Last one attack finishing on the engineering bay very shortly. Concussive shell's now halfway done. Raven, gonna take a few hits as well. The Stalkers, though, actually in trouble. Q's supply is monstrous, by the way. MaxPax has lost a good amount of Stalkers throughout this, and obviously his economy from the start has been a little bit thrown off. And so Q keeps himself in a very good position throughout, and is really looking to hammer the point home. Chrono Boost completes, the storm finishes. Extra gates in the forge still coming online. The Medivacs on the left-hand side will settle in and look for a jump into the main. Fortunately, a couple of gates going through. Bio going to unload here. Going to come straight in, and a few probes going down as well. So again, damage being dealt off the bat. 8 workers dropped. 9, 10, 11 workers going down even. Kira is running away with this game 3. This one is really just gone away from MaxPax. I think that early damage was one thing, losing a few Stalkers is another. You know, it all adds up eventually. 1-2 Storms can come in here defensively, but it's just going to need so much more than that. There's zero kind of follow-up to the Storms, right? Like, there's not a wave of Zealots and not a good amount of anything else. Nexus just goes down. Widowmines are going to get a bunch done. We're going to morph in the Archon, but there's still just nothing really here, so we kill an Immortal, we get a Stalker. Pull back, let the mines kill another couple of Zealots off, and then we're just going to turn and fight even further. And Kira cannot really go wrong with the fights at the moment. He is just able to win each and every single trade he's finding on the map. MaxPax is barely surviving, and of course, with no third base now, this game becomes that much more difficult for MaxPax to win out, because he's never going to have access to the economy that he realistically needs to create an army to compete with Kira. And he was already struggling before the third base went down. Never mind now that the third base has gone. That is an issue. That is a problem. And I think that is going to be the thing that really should just be the nail in the coffin here. As MaxPax realizes he's got a pretty much all-in counterattack, he doesn't even bother to rebuild the Nexus that was killed. So he knows what he's got to do. The reality is that he also knows what MaxPax has to do and is fairly well set up for it. Vikings and a few ByuNs look to deal with the Prism in the main base. As that gets cleaned out and the units at the front do not break on in, I can't imagine that we're going to be too long left in this game. Because the Storms have been decent. Honestly, these Marauders have been full stormed a couple of times. That has been nice, but that's really been one of the few major positives that has happened, you know, fairly frequently at all here. Produces MaxPax and Kira will take game 3. We get a 2-1 lead then still for MaxPax, but Kira fights back and gives us a little bit of life in this finals, as it was obviously looking a little bit dismal for Kira before this game, because those was, you know, for games 1 and 2 were kind of fast, one-sided completely. Not the kind of games you want to be playing realistically, so heading to a game 4. The series is still alive and upon us. 4th map coming up in a few moments' time on Magnatha. You're trying to reverse sweep to intentionally hurt people's feelings. Guys, I think it's okay. Like, I think we're gonna be done before the 2v2. I think it's gonna be alright, you know? I don't think there's gonna be much issue. think we'll be okay. So in the bottom right side, our blue Protoss player here is MaxPax. He is going to be leading the series, of course, still 2-1. Here, his opponent, the best Terran in the world based on EWC results. Really big map for this game 3, but game 4. The way that it's been going, would not be too surprised to see early aggression absolutely succeeding once again. So keep our eyes out for it. But yeah, I do feel like there's a pretty major possibility that something along those lines comes around here. We will see as the engineering bay and the barracks both come up. The gateway coming through. Probe on the way. And that probe is going to nibble at the SCV for a few moments. Some shots coming about, nothing too crazy just yet. SCV's trying to do that thing again. Probe taking a little bit more damage. Cybercore, Nexus, all building up. But you have the factory and the engineering bay building as well on the side of Q, so we just get that on the way as well. Currently, nothing too crazy. And factory will finish in a couple of moments. Next on the way, full gate on the way. Adept being added. It's going to see that Adept chrono boosting for now as the barracks moves off of the tech lab. Factory ready to come across and land onto said tech lab. Next is building, Stargate added. Second time today we've seen MaxPax decide to open with the Stargate here. So, obviously does feel comfortable enough using the Phoenix. It's not the craziest thing in the world. I made a big deal of it earlier, and it is kind of a big deal because it is unnatural. It is not the go-to in the current meta and everything, right? But we know why Stargates get built. They're still good for map control. They can still do a lot of, finding for you. And actually, Phoenix opening is still typically a very safe against a lot of the harassment.
But the Phoenix openings aren't as safe against
is the Cyclone count. If a high Cyclone count comes in, those Phoenix become much more prime targets. It's a much bigger issue. Marines continue to bout. See that factory coming over. A couple of Phoenix still moving through as well. Phoenix come in. They will lift the Cyclone just to cancel the lock on and then get away from there for the moment. Medivac starting up. The Cyclone's obviously going to try and hold that position here a little as the Phoenix try to poke in once more. Just going to be seeing that Stimpack coming through. Impact coming up, the barracks is on the way. Just have ourselves the Temple Archives to charge, etc. Continue to come about for the moment. The Phoenix still going to sit there. And the Temple Archives and Gates. Building for the moment. Results around the left side. The Phoenix is the main. Phoenix shooting, Medevac takes some shots. It's going to be seeing the Marines are going to be there to push that Phoenix away, keep them back. The couple of High Temple are going to get added on as well, so we knew that that was coming because the Storm starts up as well. No surprises just yet. Bigger map, more likely we have to go into those later stages. More likely we see this splash damage truly come up and into play as the Marines and the Cyclones gather themselves together. Storm, Charge, both on the way up as well. A couple of additional gateways building through. The warp-ins continue. We're just going to sit there and a couple of units still going down. Here are the Phoenix to obviously still add to this defense with some lifts. And the ability to chase medevacs as well. You do have opportunity there you might not typically have. The army sets up. And again, just poisons itself aggressively. 6 SCVs went down. Secura is already bleeding out back at home. As our 2 base currently Terran is going to try and add on the 3rd. But yeah, SCV losses already does not exactly bode super well. Combat Shield, Concussive Shell, +1 coming through. Storm on the way up. About to finish. The High Templars keep on building. Capatine with the 5-month resub on the Prime. I appreciate a couple Cyclones step across, and those lock-ons came in for just a split second, but more than anything, it's telling you that these two know where the armies of each other are. So there's no surprises to cure that MaxPax is coming up across this top side of the map. Obviously, MaxPax has the Storm, so he's kind of meant to be here as well. Like, this army currently from the Terran does not look strong. It does not have a lot. In fact, he's going to have enough he can really fight this. If he just zones with the right Storms on the right side, these Marines are going to melt. I mean, he just dropped every Storm on the right because the Zealots were clearly enough into the natural. This was not even a contest. GG. It's going to be MaxPax taking the 3-1 victory in the LIULI Cup 1. GG's well played. Very solid finals from MaxPax. Just a very solid day from him in general. He looked freaking good kind of throughout the whole thing, so very nicely done by MaxPax. GG's. GG's. Not the greatest finals. I think through 3 games that MaxPax won were kind of like, oh. And even the game Q was kind of like, oh. Yeah. Storm doesn't need a nerf. I mean, he had purely Marines, and he didn't micro them out of a single Storm. And to be fair, we kind of overstormed that army as well, no? Like 5 Storms on the right side. It's pretty nuts. It's a lot of storming. It's a lot of storming. Alrighty, guys, that is the LIULI Cup. This is going to be a weekly thing on Fridays. Next week, I'm probably going to be a bit late to it because I have a dance lesson before I go do it. So I think that's true for the next 2 weeks, actually. So we'll be a little bit late to join, but we will be covering the LIULI Cup is generally the plan. We'll just, like I said, I'll be a little bit late. Let me check my schedule. Yeah, we'll be... I'll be super late on next week. I might not actually be here next week because I might just be too late to come and get online. Like, I'd probably be logging in for like the second semi-final or something. The week after, though, I'll be around, so yeah. Alright guys, we got the Youth Thermal 2v2 event coming up in like 20 minutes or so. Gonna be fun. Cool, so yeah, about 20 minutes and the Youth Thermal 2v2 event's coming up. So this is we're going to be looking at today. So this starts up in, like I say, 20 minutes time. It's going to be action from Group A and Group B. Today is round 1. Let me just see if I can get a good zoom in here. There you go. So these are the matches coming up. Steadfast going to be covering as well. Youth I'm also going to be covering. So yeah, going to be a chunk of fun. Should be pretty entertaining. So yeah, these are the matches coming up. Should be cool. And yeah, obviously it's a really cool format because all these players, so each player, there's 9 players in each group. But what's super interesting about there being 9 players in each group is this is a 2v2 tournament, but there's no teams. Because every player will play a series with every other player. So this is genuinely like a how much do you bring to the 2v2 kind of situation. It's actually very fun. A little bit of a different format. I think it's going to be very fun. So as you can see, there's like a lot of different people paired up with everyone. In theory, so everyone will be paired up with everyone. And obviously everyone will play against most players throughout the course of the tournament as well. So it's genuinely very fun. And obviously every time you score a point, it goes towards your score, which is very nice as well. It's genuinely a very cool format. So this is coming up in like 20 minutes. What I'm going to do is... what I'm going to do is, so on YouTube, I probably need to... on YouTube, I probably need to just... I'm going to remake the stream on YouTube, guys. I'm going to send you guys over to the new stream, which is going to be for the 2v2 event specifically, just because it allows us to have a new title. I think when we change events like this, and it's going to be for like a series, so, you know, another 3-4 hours, it's worth remaking the event. So I'm going to do that. I just need to... get a thumbnail. Hang on, let me figure out what thumbnail I can use. So, and in terms of what games we're going to cover, guys, I'm just going to let Steadfast pick which matches he wants to do, and we'll just cover the other side of that. So, we'll just cast whatever Steadfast doesn't want to cast, basically. So yeah, this is coming up. I'm just going to put a... do I have a timer on this page? No, let me come over here and grab my timer. One sec, guys. Alright, I'm just gonna put this on screen. And just put 20 minutes on. I'm just gonna sort some stuff out, and we'll come back when the countdown's done. Does that sound good to you guys? Countdown, where are you? No! Where have you gone? Hello? Countdown? Where's my countdown thing? Oh my god, what is it doing? Okay, hang on, guys. Hang on. This didn't work as it was meant to. Control C. Over here. Control V. What the heck's going on? Hang on. It's being really dumb. Let me come over here. Let's try that. Try it like this. Wait, did my countdown just break on all of the pages. Oh my god, I broke my countdown thing. What? Why is it so broken? Oh my god. I'm tilted. Hang on, guys. One sec. I just don't know. I don't understand what it's done. Like, I copy pasted it and now apparently it's just busted. Oh, it's back. Is it back on every page? It's back. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, we're good. I'm just going to leave it like this, and I'm going to BRB, and I'll see you guys in not even that amount of time, in like this amount of time. Okay? I'll see you guys soon. BRB. Oh, but I need to make a thumbnail. Oh god. Okay, hang on. You guys can watch me make a thumbnail. Oh no, it's never mind. It's over here. Oh yeah, that's what I was checking. Oh god, I'm being slow in the head. Hang on, guys. Give me a moment. Let me check something. Nearly done. Nearly figured it out. Okay, I can use this one. Cool. Sick. Alright guys, I'll be right back. Perfect. I'll see you guys soon. Alrighty, guys. Thermal 2v2 event starting up. What we're gonna do, I'm just gonna if you're on YouTube, I'm just gonna send you guys to the new YouTube link. So you guys should end up there in a moment or two. But if you can't find, if you don't end up there for some reason, then yeah, if you don't end up there for whatever reason, then just know that yeah, if you don't end up there, I'll just be on the stream still. So I'll send you guys over, and I'll see you guys in a second on YouTube. We're here on Twitch. Gonna get ready to rumble. Don't leave us. No, I'm not going anywhere on Twitch. You guys are good. It's just YouTubers. It's better if we start like a second stream on YouTube, because then people